Here we go, 6 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show. 6 exactly. Welcome, everybody. Fester, I see that you found your keys. They weren't hidden under some lottery ticket or other object this morning. You were actually here early. You were here pleasantly early this morning. Wow.
I was here uncomfortably early. I had 4 extra minutes.
Wow,
my
yeah.
Goodness.
4 minutes ahead of Mike's being cracked, and that is uncomfortably early?
Yes.
Why is that uncomfortably early?
I want to just park the car, get out, walk up the stairs, walk down the hallway, sit in the chair, and go. That's it. And we're here. We're going.
Let me ask you a question.
Ask me anything.
When you go to the airport, you get on a plane, is that what you're looking for from your pilot? just have them walk on the plane, sit in the chair, and go?
Yeah.
Oh, really? So no pre-flight checklist, no walk around the airplane,
Yeah.
just get in and go. Just kind of winging a prayer, literally, and just hope everything's okay. Don't do the pre-flight checklist. Maybe you have the flap set wrong for takeoff. Just get in, sit down, and go. That's it, right?
Maybe he glances over at the co-pilot and says, everything look good? Co-pilot says, yep. You take his word for it, and you go.
Plenty of accidents have been attributed to skipped items on pre-flight checklists or pilots, and mostly in the corporate world, not as much commercial pilots for, established airlines, but some of the corporate jets, the general aviation jets, number of accidents have been attributed to no pre-flight checklist. So, Fester, guess what? I never want to see you in the cockpit of any airplane. Plus, you probably couldn't fit.
I consider this morning's show the crop duster of aviation.
Oh, really?
So,
gotcha. Hey, so speaking of aviation, just a quick little nerd note.
yeah.
Just a little nerd note as we get rolling here on a Tuesday morning. I was on my first ever Airbus 220 over the weekend, coming back on Breeze, and it was a breeze. I had a nice experience on Breeze. Better than the last time I landed on Breeze at Tampa International, where the landing gear broke. I mean, it didn't snap off like a twig or a Mr. Salty pretzel stick, but it got all twisted, and the pilot couldn't move the plane, and we had to get towed in. Sat around for 17 minutes. That video, by the way, a couple of 100,000 views, I believe, on my, some of my Instagram videos have just taken off like a freaking rocket.
Yeah.
And they seem to be aviation related. The kid who many have dubbed autistic is kind of interesting. The kid that's running away from the Spirit Airlines staff at Tampa International. This goes back to, I think, was it April or May?
Yeah, it was before the summer, right?
That video of mine has 3.1 million views, and it cools down for a bit, and then suddenly, whoosh, it goes into hyperdrive again, and then I see all these people liking my video and commenting on the video. It goes in lulls, and then it goes in waves, and then just jams up. And if you didn't see it, it's I don't know, it's kind of far back now on my Instagram. There was a kid, 6-7 years old, that was an unaccompanied minor who was flying from Fort Lauderdale to Tampa. And the adult here in Tampa, supposed to pick up the kid, hadn't shown yet. So I'm in the gate area with the other passengers waiting to fly the return flight from Tampa back to Fort Lauderdale. And this kid is just running away repeatedly from the gate staff. So they have him off the airplane, and they're kind of holding him against the wall, next to the door where you walk down the jetway. And it's like a combination of flight attendants and the gate agents were watching this kid who was in a 6-7-year-old kid in a wife-beater T-shirt. I mean, it's the most bizarre thing. And I'm watching this, and before I rolled video, this kid ran away from the staff 4 times. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get this on video. And in fact, my video with 3.1 million views is not even the best of the video. I mean, there was one video where this kid bolts and runs, and you've got the staff running after him. They're huffing and puffing. And the video I finally got was either the third or fourth time he ran away from the agents. And he would just run off in a full sprint. I mean, down the Spirit, I can't remember what terminal Spirit was.
He wore those people out.
Which airside. And he was wearing and he's playing with them, and he's running around. And for whatever reason, some people have picked up on the fact that his walking on his tiptoes or on the balls of his feet, and then he's got something in his mouth, and someone said, "Yeah, that's a chew toy or something." Anyway, so you got all these folks on Instagram that are suddenly medical experts making diagnoses, and I took the video because, I thought it was kind of funny that the kid is just making the Spirit Airlines staff run and bolt after him at full freaking speed, right? And you can see on the video that's got 3.1 million, that dude there walking is the flight attendant, because he was the flight attendant on my flight going back to Fort Lauderdale from Tampa that he came in on, and that really sucks. You got somebody that puts an unaccompanied minor on the plane over in Fort Lauderdale, and the adult to pick him up hasn't arrived.
I mean,
that sucks.
It's free babysitting is what it is.
So the dude right there that you're watching, what was my date on this? Do you see the post date?
I don't see that.
Yeah, it looks like it's, I don't know, like May, it's like, I think May 25th or something. I think
May 26th.
Yeah, May 26th?
Is that, I can't see that.
Yeah, it's a 25 or 26. It's very light.
Yeah.
So then this dude there, that's the flight attendant. That is just, he's out of breath. Can you see that? And he's not a fat guy. The flight attendant's like a tall, skinny-ish guy.
Yeah, but this kid's wearing him out.
Oh, wearing this guy out. So anyway, that video's got 3.1 million.
And no video of you on the new Airbus A220?
No, you know what?
What?
I didn't. Well, it's not a new plane, the Airbus 220. And you know what? That's not even an Airbus plane. That plane was a Bombardier.
Oh.
That Airbus took over the program.
Yes.
And then renamed it an Airbus.
It's all coming back to me now. Yes.
You mean like Celine Dion?
I recall.
So coming back to me now.
It was the Bombardier, of course.
No, sorry. Look up, just for a second here.
Oh, wow.
You know, I'm an aviator. Just look up Airbus A220.
Airbus
A220. I'm pretty sure that was it was a Bombardier plane that was
a Bombardier C
series. Yeah.
Okay.
Airbus A220 is a family of 5 abreast narrow-body airliners by Airbus Canada Limited Partnership. It was originally developed by Bombardier Aviation and had 2 years in service as the Bombardier C series. Yeah, and then like Airbus, I think, purchased the program.
All right, this has been Plane Talk with MJ and friends.
You know what? The plain truth.
You know, if you
the plain truth with MJ.
If you did a podcast called The Plain Truth, you'd narrowcast a lot of nerds into listening, man. It'd be really great. However, there is big news, like the great game last night where the Ravens proved their dominance over the Buccaneers.
Well, and 2 major injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, it's on my list.
I know, but
that game's on my list.
Let's start with Plain Talk.
I don't have to come out of the chute like, with the bad negative news about the Bucs.
No.
The Bucs lost a big game last night, and they also lost 2 players. So Mike Evans and Godwin, they're out. I mean, for how long? I mean, you got a couple of potentially serious injuries. I mean, Mike Evans was in pain. He was writhing.
That was ugly.
And then Godwin has, I believe they said, a dislocated ankle? That sucks.
That hurts the receivers, man.
Oh, man. Anyway, just getting rolling. Man, the Bucs came out strong, too. The Bucs looked dominant. And then I said to Michelle, I said, just hold on.
Wait 1 second.
Just wait a sec. I said, I'm very happy and excited the way the Bucs have started this thing. However, don't discount the Ravens. Both teams are 4-2.
Right, both good teams.
Yeah, both teams 4-2. But the Ravens have been on a roll. They started slow, but then they've been on, I think, a 4-game winning streak, and now it's a 5-game winning streak. All right, just getting rolling. A busy Wednesday, man. I got a pile of stuff today. 6:09, traffic's on. Here is Shriner.
Not much to.
6:20 here on the MJ Morning Show, Tuesday morning. MJ Fester, hey, quick question here. I just kind of teased betting tips with Fester. Did you bet on the game last night? Because you've been seemingly dabbling lately in some sports betting. Did you clunk down any cash on the Bucks and the Ravens game last night, that Big F?
I took the over.
Could you explain that to the audience, please?
So the
you know what? Why don't you save this for a podcast?
You know
no,
what?
I'm kidding.
I should.
I'm kidding.
I should. I agree.
Aren't you doing a podcast?
Yeah, I'm starting something.
What are you starting?
It's a live stream right now. It's not quite a podcast. I'm still feeling my way through it.
Is this just like post MJ Morning Show when they fire us?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I mean,
yeah.
Just a creative outlet. I mean, I'm either here for 10 more years, 10 more months,
right.
10 more weeks, or 10 more minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, same here.
I
Same here.
I can be gone in 10 minutes. So, it's just a creative outlet. I always liked football.
So hold on. What is your podcast?
It's a live stream I do on our MJ Morning Show social channels.
Hold on. So you're using our venue?
The only thing I'm using.
Hold on. Was it the MJ Morning Show Facebook page?
The Facebook page.
Like Dennis Phillips Live?
Kind of like that, only I don't have followers. Dennis has thousands and thousands of followers.
He's got like 1 million followers now on Facebook. All right, so wait a minute. You're using the MJ Morning Show Facebook page with like 30,000 followers?
Yes. And I had
You're using that, and you're going live. You're doing a Facebook Live using our platform.
Yep.
And what is the subject matter of your live stream?
It's solely me talking about NFL football. There's no guests. There's no... It's solely my opinions.
And how often do you do this thing?
I do it once a week. Now, mind you, the last couple of weeks with the storms, I had to put it on pause.
Okay.
But
we're
roaring back tonight.
Did the complaint letters and where's it been? Have they poured in?
You know what? You don't realize how many people are listening until you don't do something. Yeah. And I got like a dozen of them.
All right.
Hey, man.
Are they texting you on your cell phone?
They are. Some people have direct messaged me.
Yeah.
The name of the show is See You Next Tuesday, and it's a Tuesday football show. So every Tuesday.
Well, that's kind of vulgar.
No, it isn't. See you next Tuesday. No, it isn't.
Okay.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
All right.
All right. See you what day of the week is there no football? Tuesday.
There's you know what? We need Tuesday night football. Well, we don't have Wednesday night football.
I think like some no-name college league might play Thursday, Wednesday football.
I'm talking about NFL.
I know.
So you've got Sunday day games.
Right.
You've got the Sunday night game.
Yes.
You've got Monday night football with ABC and ESPN.
Yeah.
That was last night, and of course we were one of the. Did they have multiple Monday night games last night? Because they've been doing that. There used to be just like one Monday night game, and then they've been like having a couple of different Monday night games depending on where in the country you were. All right, so no Tuesday NFL, no
Wednesday
NFL. You've got Thursday night football now on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
There's no Friday night football. You got Friday Night Lights for the high school crowd.
I think like on Black Friday there'll be a football game, or there's a couple of special games.
You sure on Friday?
And
there's no NFL on Saturday unless it's like
the end of the year
playoffs and stuff. All right.
So anyway, we talk all about football. Usually about 7 o'clock on the MJ Morning Show Facebook page. And then we have a little bit of fun.
How long do you stream? Is
you
it
know what?
An hour or?
It's like 40 minutes.
Do you prep or you're just winging it like?
A combination of both. A combination of both.
Do you have a set?
No, I do you have a set.
Where do you do it? Like at your kitchen table?
It's a live
stream.
stream.
Do it in the garage?
I think the first two episodes
on the front lawn with a campfire? Where do you do your live stream?
The first episode I did in my living room. The second episode I did in a hotel room in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And then I think I did the last couple episodes in the room I did the MJ Morning Show podcast in.
Oh, hey, what's up with the tree that fell in your backyard, the big giant pine tree that fell in your backyard after the hurricane?
It's a big oak tree.
Oh, I'm sorry, oak tree.
I called my insurance company.
Oh, that's not covered.
And that's what they said.
If it hits your house, it might be covered, but the tree just falling away from your house, that's not covered.
Well, when I heard Jimmy Petronas on last week, he was like, I contact your insurance company, see what's covered.
If it hits your house.
That's what they said. They go, how's the dwelling?
Why didn't you ask me? They're not going to cover a tree that fell in your yard that didn't miss the insured item.
So...
Okay, we'll pay for Tony's Tree Service to come on out.
I wish they'd come out.
Yeah, the truck says licensed and bonded, but no, they're not.
now.
Right.
You know what? I would even take them now. No.
Have you gotten a quote for the tree removal?
No, because tree guys are difficult to find right now.
Oh yeah.
And
If you can wait, if you can put it on hold, if you don't have an emergent situation where you've got this tree through your living room or whatever, or precariously perched on your front door, if you can wait for tree service, wait.
Yeah.
Because, man, the tree folks, they are going a mile a minute, and some of them are, jacking up the price and, kind of usurious. So if you can wait, and this tree is not doing it, it's just kind of down in your yard, and it's not bugging anything.
It's down. It's not interfering with anything. It hasn't landed on anything important.
All right.
So I'm going to let it wait. I'm going to let the tree guys do the important jobs first.
That's kind of like if it's yellow, let it mellow.
And that's what we're doing right now.
Okay, letting your tree mellow.
I don't think the tree is dead yet, because when a tree falls and it dies, it turns brown pretty quickly. I think the root ball is still getting water.
Yeah.
And
and listen, there are plenty of trees that have fallen, but the root ball is still somewhat in the ground. And a lot of the trees that have fallen, they're not dying because they are still getting enough water.
So
absolutely.
That's a situation I'm in. After the tree guys get all their work done, make all their money, and then I have to wait a little while for them to drink all that money, because they're going to go
then
on a party
it's time.
binge.
Well, here's the deal. It's like with a bunch of the trades, there is going to be a massive, massive demand for certain trades. Obviously, roofing, plumbing to a certain extent.
Air conditioning, all those handlers that got submerged.
So there's going to be a massive run for service, and it's going to be jammed up and busy. But then maybe 12 months, maybe just under a year or right around a year, things are going to dry up.
Just settle down.
Yeah,
right.
The hurricanes, it's going to go back to normal biz. So, for some people, maybe wait until things settle down if you can. Hey, I mentioned hangry. Do you believe in hangry, that if you're hungry, that you can get angry, and that's where the word comes from, that you're angry from being hungry, so you're hangry? Do you believe that?
I think that's a real thing with a lot of people. It's not a thing with me.
Okay.
But with a lot of people, I can tell when you just need to sit down and eat. It's time to eat.
I saw the list that kind of got my attention, and I thought I'd bring it up. And this is like a doctor, Dr. Zach.
That sounds official.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Zach, everybody.
Dr. Zach was asked about, is hangry a real thing? And Dr. Zach talks about, blood sugar, a roller coaster that you really didn't ask to get on. And anyway, like the secret regulator and gut-brain draw. I mean, this guy goes in all kinds of crazy science. But then he comes up with the top 5 foods to manage being hangry. Also, didn't the Snickers candy bar, they did a whole campaign based on hangry.
You're just not yourself when you're hungry, and you turn into this character
and then
yourself.
Eat a Snickers bar, and it'll like turn you back to normal, right? Well, I don't see the Snickers bar on this list anywhere.
What? How official is this?
That's what I was like very, very despondent.
All right, so I typed Dr. Zach into Google, and he's a real doctor, Dr. Zachary Knight, and he has a bunch of science of hunger videos out there.
What do you think? I'm making this up? What do you think? I'm pulling this out of my my colon?
I mean, when you say Dr. Zach.
All right. Anyway, so Dr. Zach has the top 5 foods to reduce you being hangry. Number 1, crunchy vegetables like carrots, celery, cucumber, and cauliflower.
Okay.
So what is it, like crunchy, snappy vegetables? I got to be honest, for some people, that'll make them even more pissed off.
I mean, honestly, if I'm hungry.
A healthy vegetable.
Would you like some celery, sir? No, I don't want any celery.
All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, chickpeas. The hell? I mean, I like chickpeas. I like taking chickpeas and drying, washing them, taking the skins off, and do I take the skin? Well,
sometimes.
No, a lot of the skins just fall off when you wash them in the car, and then you dry the chickpeas, and then you lay them out on a baking sheet, and then you bake them, and you make your very own crunchy chickpea snacks. And the little light coating of sea salt. And,
Yeah. I've done that in the air fryer before.
Anyway, high in protein and fiber, chickpeas are a double whammy against Hangry. Yeah, protein helps stabilize the blood sugar levels. The fiber keeps your digestive system in good shape. So, number 3, Greek yogurt.
But because of the protein?
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Greek yogurt. What about regular yogurt? I'm not really a fan of Greek yogurt.
What's the difference between Greek yogurt and regular yogurt?
I mean, I always thought that Greek yogurt was like chunkier.
Overall thickness?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I know a lot of people are into Greek yogurt.
And green yogurt.
Yeah, green yogurt. It's been in the fridge a little too long. Check the expiration date on that. Oh, it says February. Oh, that's why it's green and chunky. So Greek yogurt. Number 4, berries. I love berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. That's another anti-hangry food. And then finally, almonds.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, doctor.
Yeah, so Dr. Zach.
Did I need a doctor to tell me this list?
Yeah.
Oh, eat healthy food.
Andrew just said in my ear, give me a damn steak.
No kidding.
And Michelle, not Michelle, but Chloe had a craving for steak last night. And I was getting ready to go on my walk. And I said, okay, fine, I'll build Publix into my walk. I get a couple of strange looks when I walk into Publix with my weighted vest, my plate carrier.
I bet you did. It looks like a bulletproof vest.
Like a tactical vest. And so I went into Publix last night during my 3-mile walk and picked up Chloe a nice ribeye.
It was nice room temperature ribeye by the time you got back home?
No, I did it on the back end. No, it was fine. It was, and some experts say, there's kind of some mixed science on this. Some say that you ought to leave your steaks out and let them roll closer to room temperature before you cook them. But then I've read other things that it just doesn't matter whether you just take them right out of the fridge and they're 35, 36 degrees.
Doesn't matter.
Well, that's what I read both, but it's more leaning toward it just doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right, 6:32 at the MJ Morning Show. How about some early morons in the news? How about next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105? Yeah, good morons in the news in minutes. Hey. I would like to know, Fester, which morons in the news rejoiner you'd like to hear.
All right, lay them on me.
Yeah, so would you like to hear anyone in particular? Yeah, I want to get an option here at 6:40 on the MJ Morning Show. Any particular rejoiner you like?
I like what's the guy's name? Lunchbox Lewis?
Oh, I got the instrumental here for Lunchbox Lewis, yeah. I don't know if the U.S. version uses this, but the British version of, was it Britain's Got Talent?
Is that
They use that as like some type of bumper music. Seriously.
I don't think the U.S. version of America's Got Talent, I think they have just swooshy voiceover intros.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So I like the non-vocal version of this, to where by the time it has good energy, and when the horns kick in, you pull it down and you start talking.
I got bills, I gotta pay. All right, 6:41 at the MJ Morning Show. Let's do some early morons of the news. This is out of Mulberry, the quiet little bedroom community to the east of Tampa Bay. Little old Mulberry, Florida, famous for those phosphate piles.
I thought you were going to say berries.
The phosphate piles.
The pits.
You know what I used to love? I don't know if they still have it, but years ago, you drive through Mulberry and you'd hit those railroad tracks near where the phosphate stuff is. And off to if you were heading toward the East Coast, if you're heading east, and you'd look to the left, there was like a concrete tunnel that went through like a giant mound of phosphates.
Really?
Yeah. And I was always fascinated by that. I want to walk through that tunnel underneath the big phosphate pile. So I don't know if that giant like concrete tunnel is still there, or if there's a giant pile of phosphates on top of it. And why did they have that tunnel?
I mean, no disrespect to my friends in Polk County, but I guess I don't spend enough time in Mulberry.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've driven that way. Because when my parents used to live in Palm Beach Gardens, I used to take that route. But now that my parents and my bro, now that they live in Fort Lauderdale, when I do drive, and I've been flying because it's just faster, but when I do drive, I take 75 to the Alligator Alley and then roll into Fort Lauderdale that way. But I'm just curious. Anybody in Mulberry still listening? Do they still have that concrete tunnel that used to run underneath the big giant phosphate mound that you saw right off of State Road 60? Anybody in Mulberry? Come on, Mulberry. Light up my life. Light up my phones. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Anyway, all that because I mentioned our stories from Mulberry. Hey, schmuckface. Uber drivers don't have a lot of cash on them.
Generally speaking, no.
It's an app. You pay with the app and your credit card that's attached. Why is this a moron in the news? A woman has been arrested, pulled a gun, and robbed an Uber driver for refusing her a ride over the weekend. Yeah, armed robbery. They're calling it armed robbery. And when you hear armed robbery, it's like, what kind of cash you trying to get out of an Uber driver?
It's an Uber driver.
Get out of here.
He's trying to make a few bucks.
Get out of here. Yeah, so the woman has been arrested, according to the release from the Polk County Sheriff's Office. They announced this yesterday. It happened about 8 p.m. on Sunday. So Sunday night, around 8 p.m., the Polk County Sheriff's Office was called to the scene. The Uber driver said that he was finishing a ride, dropping off a couple of passengers before being robbed by Jasiah Owens, 27.
Come on, Jasiah.
Yeah, the victim told detectives that the passengers asked him to take them to a different spot. Yeah, Owens apparently tried to enter the vehicle with a dog. Wait a minute. So this is an armed robbery with a dog.
That's pretty threatening. You have a vicious dog. I'll set him loose. Give me your money.
Anyway, the victim, I guess the driver said, "Hey, can I get out of the vehicle?" Then Owens, the armed robber, became angry. Probably hangry, probably needed some chickpeas. And then it turned into a huge scene. So the victim and then the driver both exited the victim, the Uber driver that was being robbed, and then this Jasiah Owens, they both got out of the vehicle. They start arguing. And then she pulls out a handgun from her bag and then points the handgun at the Uber driver.
This is a poorly planned robbery all the way around.
This is just idiotic. So the Uber driver victim was able to get away and then flag down a passing car to use their cell phone to call 911 because I'm imagining the Uber driver's cell phone was in the vehicle, probably attached to one of those cell phone holders.
Every Uber driver I've ever seen, or every Uber I've been in,
has the cell phone holder because they're following their cell phone for their Uber map. Holy crap. And then the Polk County Sheriff's Office found a 9mm Sig Sauer in the driveway of a nearby home. It seems that Ms. Owens ditched the gun. Wow. So
she didn't make away with any money.
I mean, who tries to hold up an Uber driver? They don't have kids. It's not like the old days where you knock off a taxi driver.
Got a big wad of cash.
And I'm talking about like 1970s and 80s before all the debit and the cash, before all the credit card swipes and all that and all the apps. You know, back in the 70s and 80s, and before, some people would like try to knock off a cab driver at the end of a 12-hour shift. And, walk away with hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's not like that these days. And hang on a sec. Andrew's saying that I need to go to the phones.
What, are we getting calls from Mulberry?
Yeah, I guess we got some Mulberry calls rolling in. Jimmy in Dade City. Hello, Jimmy's not in Mulberry. Jimmy's in Dade City. Hey, Jimmy, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning, MJ. Yeah, Jimmy's from Dade City, but he travels to Polk County every single day.
All right, yeah, Jimmy's driving. Jimmy likes the MJ Morning Show. Jimmy listens every morning, Jimmy. All right, so Jimmy, do you have an answer for me on that concrete tunnel that used to run underneath a giant mound of phosphates in Mulberry?
Still there. It was there as of 2 days ago, so yeah, and you mentioned that, and I go across those tracks and I look off to the left, and I often wonder what's underneath all that.
Yeah, I know. So is there a big mound? Is there a giant mound of phosphates still on top of the tunnel?
Still on top of there. It looks like they're adding more to it every day. And Yeah.
Man, I just want to walk through that tunnel. You know what? After all these years, after driving past that thing for 30 years, I want to walk through that tunnel. Can I just pull off on the side of the road and walk through? Where does that tunnel go? Jimmy, thanks for the call. Oh, wait a minute. I'm told that Tim is phoning from Fort Meade, can answer my pressing phosphate questions. Tim, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning, MJ. Sorry, I'm driving, so my phone might not be, it might cut in and out. But yeah, so I actually work for that company, which is Mosaic.
Yeah, Mosaic now, yeah.
Yes, sir. So I'm actually on the mining side. So all the phosphate that has been piled up there is actually coming from one of my mines that I work at.
Wow.
So the tunnel is, I don't think it would be a really good idea just to, and I know you're joking, but just to go up in there because it actually is locked down. So that tunnel is basically has a conveyor system underneath it.
Oh.
And what they do whenever they get ready to blend the phosphate into the plant, they actually will pull from that pile at different spots because there's different grades and different sizes.
Ah.
And once it goes into that plant, it comes out as fertilizer. So that's basically the process.
How long is that concrete, ovalish tunnel? How long is that thing?
So we have one similar at the location I'm at. I'm actually at the South Fort Meade mine.
I'm talking about the one that I always used to pass by and wonder, man, what is that concrete tunnel in Mulberry?
Yes, if I remember correctly, because it has been a little bit since I've been up there, it's around probably 3,000 feet long.
Oh, man, I got to get in that thing.
That's huge.
Yeah.
But but you're more than welcome to the actual where I work at, the mine I work at, which is down in South Fort Meade.
Yeah.
Just contact me and I'll give you a tour. I'll get you on a drag line and I can get you in a tunnel because we've got two of them at our location.
All right.
So,
Dude, let's
Awesome.
go.
and it's basically just ground level. I mean, it doesn't really go underneath because we are a surface mine. So.
Right.
There's no going down 200 or 300 feet. So.
All right. Well, listen, thank you, Tim, for checking in. Thanks for, isn't it amazing? Appreciate it. It's amazing. I bring something up and I get flooded with phone calls.
How are we going to get a hold of Tim? Just call Tim in Fort Meade?
That's it.
You didn't leave a number.
I'm going to put up the phosphate bat signal up in the air, and I'll get a hold of Tim. Will phone me right away.
You want to go phosphate mining this weekend?
Tim will call you on your cell phone at 813-310-8444.
Tim, if you're listening, send me a text so we can keep in touch. I'd love to check out the phosphate mine.
That's what it'll do. It is 6:50 at the MJ Morning Show. It's 10 minutes away from 7 o'clock. We start the famous 7 o'clock hour next, including an hour and 20 minutes of non-stop MJ. Hey, I have a couple of warnings. If you are an acne sufferer, don't fall for this ridiculous new trend. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This is stupid beyond stupid. So if you're an acne sufferer or if you know somebody that's an acne sufferer, a lot of people swear by Accutane that'll, boom, clear you right up, after the appropriate amount of time. But there's like this trend. It's one of these stupid social media trends. Hang on, don't do this. And then I saw a very funny description for somebody who's addicted to tanning beds. and Fessa, you used to own a tanning salon, so I'd like to get your take on this. So there is a young woman addicted to tanning beds, and people are describing her in this way. And I burst out laughing when I heard this. All right, those stories and more next on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. You can bank on Banco. That's not just a slogan. That is a reality. If you have any garage door issues, bank on Banco. 2 minutes past 7 o'clock, MJ Morning Show. Hey, MJ here, Fester. Andrew in the booth. Hey, quick question for you. Before I get into the items I teased, the sun tanning issue, the acne issue, and they're somewhat related, and I'll get to that in a second. Do you have an update on your colonoscopy time for Friday's show?
I don't. I
asked you to call the doctor yesterday and try to lock it in.
And the doctor said, tough luck, pal. We'll call you Thursday.
Wait, did you actually call or you didn't even call?
I spoke yesterday. I found out about the Clenzeek.
No, Clenpeak.
Clenpeak.
I told you for your colonoscopy, you want a Clenpeak. What did they say about Clenpeak?
They said
that
they would write a prescription for it.
There you go.
And they sent it to my pharmacy.
What's your pharmacy?
I don't want to give that private information.
Wow, who can listen?
I recently made a pharmacy change.
All right. From what to what? What's so secret about your pharmacy? What is someone going to break in? What is someone going to bust in to get your pharmaceutical records? What scripts is Fester on?
I have left CVS.
Yep. Yeah, I did too.
I was with CVS for a long time.
Yeah, I got tired of them.
And I felt I wasn't getting the service that I needed.
Yeah, Michelle used to get into fights with. Well, there was like one pharmacist just gave us a hard time for like everything. Yeah. It's like what am I doing here?
I mean, CVS is a fine store for a lot of things, I guess, but the pharmacy just seems so overwhelmed.
This is CVS. Dump, 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 dump. All right, go ahead.
And we made the switch to the Publix pharmacy.
Yeah, I did the same thing. And I used the Publix pharmacy on Kennedy, right across from West Shore, the small Publix they built where the Sports Authority used to sit. I use that Publix pharmacy, and it's a pleasure.
It really is.
Where pill popping is a pleasure.
I mean, at least getting your pill prescription filled. I use the Publix near my house, and my wife made the move over maybe 8 months ago.
I am thrilled with the Publix pharmacy.
Absolutely love it.
The nicest pharmacists, Joanna over there, could not be nicer at the Publix pharmacy on Kennedy in South Tampa. It couldn't be a better experience.
Wonderful.
Where the regular supermarket, where shopping is a pleasure, the pharmacy, where pill popping is a pleasure. Absolutely.
So anyway, I'm at the Publix pharmacy.
Very, very good. All right, so they phoned in what did they say about, they had initially given you your colonoscopy prep, which is, the Miralax and like a gallon of Gatorade, and that just sucks.
And they also said there's a couple of over-the-counter ones, over-the-counter
a caller mentioned that.
Yeah.
On the air, magnesium sulfate or whatever.
They recommended, the hospital said the part of the prep is like Colace or a couple of ones that you can just buy over the counter.
Some over-the-counter clean-out devices. Yeah. All right. So, but the Clenpeak, I'm telling you, they're like 2 little bottles, and then you take one, then you take the other, and then boom, you're good to go. Whoa. Daddy-o. All right.
So
things are a-flowing.
It's scheduled for Friday morning. The whole time I've been
like a river.
They said
the Willy Wonka chocolate river.
It's nothing like that.
Where the little German kid the big fat German kid falls in.
You don't want to fall in this river. You do not want to fall in this toxic river that'll be coming out of
swimming in Hurricane Helene water.
It's going to be awful.
Yeah.
So the procedure is Friday. They said they'll call Thursday to schedule it. They don't have any idea they can't tell me it's at 7:15 or if it's at 10:15.
All right, so I could be solo on Friday's show. Is that it? Froggy's no longer here. I don't know, All right, so ask them if you can do your colonoscopy after the morning show. Like, can I do it from 11 a.m. on?
That's a long wait.
What?
Here's why.
What?
I'm a liquid consumer. I go through about a half a gallon of liquid every morning show. I can have no liquids of any kind the entire day, like from midnight.
Yeah, well, that's typical of any surgery or.
I understand.
Listen, if I go for a physical and they're going to take blood, they tell you to fast after midnight. But they allow you to have water or coffee, and I don't drink coffee, but, water, sure.
They said drink nothing the day of the procedure. What if I get the first procedure, like at 6, and I'm done by 7, and I make it in here by 7:45?
You're going to be all grogged out from the propofol.
Well, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. They're going to juice you up with the Michael Jackson propofol.
I might need double
In fact, what was that doctor's name?
Conrad
Dr.
something?
Conrad.
Murray?
Whatever his name was.
Conrad Murray.
Was that it?
I think so. It sounds right.
I remember Conrad. Yeah, Michael Jackson. Yeah, propofol, milk of amnesia. That's what they generally will knock you out with. Just make sure to tell them you need the walrus dose.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, maybe they can bring somebody in from like the Clearwater Marine Aquarium or something, or the Florida Aquarium.
Yeah, Fester needs a manatee-sized dose.
If you were performing a colonoscopy on a manatee, how much would you give them? I'll take that.
All right, on to the items that I mentioned a little while ago. I just don't think this is a good idea. So there's this like social media trend, and people are posting this on primarily TikTok, which is just a total schmucks. Listen, tick schmuck is what I call it. Not only is it a Chinese spy operation, but, and listen, a lot of the social media sites are guilty of this. Instagram and TikTok, just all of the conspiracy stuff and just bad information. And you know what the latest trend is on social media? The latest trend is like totally faking something. Like I saw, I was on my Instagram yesterday because I just posted something about the Goodyear blimp flying over South Tampa for Monday Night Football last night. And that's on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. And Chloe's like, Dad, come outside. There's a blimp. I'm like, yeah, it's the Goodyear blimp. It's Monday Night Football. And it's flying around. So I've got Chloe in the backyard, and she's just marveling over the Goodyear blimp up for Monday Night Football last night. But what I'm noticing, and I saw this, and I've seen a whole bunch of these where people are just shooting videos and just making crap up. For instance, one of the completely falsified deals, someone says, oh, hey, you got to empty out your Ben & Jerry's ice cream container. So they've got a Ben & Jerry's ice cream container. They scoop out all of the ice cream, and then you see them in the bottom, like digging out the bottom, and they're claiming there's a false bottom in the bottom of the Ben & Jerry's container, and they pull out the false cardboard circular bottom.
Right.
And there's a chocolate chip cookie underneath. No, there's not. There's not. Don't do that. I mean,
that would be awesome if there was,
listen,
but it's not.
People are faking, and like these stupid hacks. Like some guy was like pouring Dawn dishwasher liquid all over his tires. I can't. It was so stupid. And he's making some claim, and he's pouring Dawn blue liquid on all four tires, claiming it did something. No, it doesn't. It'll make your car slippery. It'll get you in an accident, maybe.
Don't put it on the tread.
But the stupid stuff, folks, believe like nothing on social media except for my Instagram reels at Certified MJ Radio.
Right, so
but seriously,
here's the thing about your Instagram reels. It's at least just solely entertainment. You're not trying to educate somebody in some capacity. But you're like, hey, look, there's a blimp, and there's a blimp.
I like what you just said. You said education. There's so much like false information and false education on social media right now. Ignore it. I mean, essentially, question everything and don't believe everything on social media. There's so much garbage. People are pulling stuff out of their butt, kind of like the camera they're going to pull out of your butt when you get your colonoscopy on Friday, which is going to sound just like that. All right, so back over to this stupid TikTok video where...
And it's about skincare?
Well, yeah. So acne sufferers, there are a couple of videos floating around apparently where some of the individuals shooting videos with acne, they're going on like TikTok, and they're telling people that if you have an acne problem, go out in the sun and burn the hell out of your face with a sunburn. Oh, my God. So, yeah, it might dry up your sebaceous glands or whatever it's called, but... Yeah. Hello.
I don't know that getting a deliberate sunburn's the cure.
Hello, skin cancer. No, and then like I saw a story about this, and then you have a dermatologist at NYU Langone, a respected hospital and NYU connected medical center, and this Dr. Jennifer Stein, who's a dermatologist, said that people who experience sunburns are at increased risk of developing skin cancer. Yeah. So I don't know if I believe in some of these videos where they're saying, yeah, go and get a really nasty sunburn. It's going to knock out your acne. Stop. In many cases, it's not going to heal your acne.
It won't have any effect.
Well, just don't. This is stupid. do not get a sunburn and burn the living hell out of your face because you saw some tick schmuck video that it's going to help your acne issue. Go get an Accutane prescription. I know that numerous people that I know have had remarkable luck with acne.
So
with Accutane.
I'm on this website that seems very official because it's titled Cosmetics and Toiletries.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorite websites, cosmeticsandtoiletries.com.
Yeah, well, it's official. And they said sunburning to heal acne is the latest terrifying TikTok trend.
See, I told you. Look at this.
And this is from the authorities at cosmeticsandtoiletries.com.
Right, the authority.
What else do they have on this site?
I don't know. But listen, this is like a trend going around. There are videos, and who just watches some rando on TikTok and decides that I'm going to do something medically based on some schmuck?
You know what? All of the advice makes enough sense in some warped world.
All right. Then moving along here, speaking of, sunburns or sun tanning, it's somewhat related. I just burst out laughing when I saw this. This young woman, an 18-year-old student by the name of Megan Blaine. 18-year-old student Megan Blaine is addicted to tanning salons. Do you remember that tan mom out of New Jersey?
Yeah.
Do you remember she looked like a catcher's mitt? Remember she was a white woman?
She looked like a Louis Vuitton purse.
She did.
Without the little LVs on her forehead.
But she ridiculously tanned, and she just looked like she was, left on like the high, the 5 on the toaster oven. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's how I like my toast, but not my mom's. So tan mom, yeah, I'm pulling up a couple of pictures. Look how dark she was.
I mean, she just looked ridiculous. I mean, she looked like she was in a house fire. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is now you've got Megan Blaine. She's 18 years old. She's a student. And when I saw this, I just laughed out loud. People are saying that she looks cremated.
I have to see a picture of her. Megan Blaine?
Right here. Look, here's a picture of Megan Blaine.
You know what? Yeah, she does look cremated.
She looks cremated.
She does. That is too much tanning.
And this comes from you. You used to own a tanning salon.
Yes.
For those that don't know, Fester used to own the tanning salon next to Massage Envy.
In South Tampa. Yeah, and it was a great little business for a while. And you met all kinds of people, and there were people who would come.
Right, so you had the addicted tanners, right?
Oh, we had some of them were.
Did you ever tell somebody, hey, enough's enough?
No, I told them they needed a $140 bottle of lotion. I mean, listen, I was treating my tanners the same way that Matthew Perry's doctors were treating him. I mean, how much money can we get
you
out of
you were a facilitator and an enabler.
I am nobody's doctor and nobody's priest. I don't care about any of that stuff. But no, we had people who would come. We had a South Tampa man named Marty, who would come by. Marty would come by every day. I jokingly put a picture of.
How about Magda from Something About Mary?
We had ladies like that. They would come in and their skin was downright leathery.
Oh, God.
And they would pick the spiciest hot lotion and put it on and burn themselves.
Oh, my.
Love it.
All right, so don't be described as cremated by tanning way too much.
That's not good for you guys.
No. Yeah, you don't want to hear people, oh, you tan a lot. You look cremated. People want to tan to become, what they think is more attractive. But then you look like you're cremated?
I mean, she looks well toasted. I mean, she looks like a piece of pumpernickel bread.
Yeah. Hey, what are you getting for Christmas? Oh, an urn. for your cremains.
A little preemptive.
Wow. All right, 7:16 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Hey, at 7:45, this is a crazy item. So a parent ditches the 5-year-old kid on the airplane. The parent goes to business class, leaves a 5-year-old in a middle seat back in coach. Guess what one of the people did that was sitting next to the 5-year-old? Oh, and it's not.
Okay.
It's not molestation.
Okay,
Listen, don't.
I don't know.
No, it's not that. I mean, listen, I wanted to nip that in the bud right away. It's not that. But this is actually funny. This is very, very funny. So we'll get to that coming up in just a... Anyway, we're loaded. We do an hour and 20 minutes and... Oh, I've got a wedding pile. Oh, I got some good stuff. Anyway, I can't even remotely promote every item coming up in our hour and 20-minute plus run, which happens next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. I wonder if they played that bumper music at the Bucks game last night. I've heard this played in the background several times. I don't go to the games. It's been a long time since I've actually been to a Bucks game at the stadium. But I do watch them on TV, and you'll hear some of the in-stadium music that they play. They'll play like sound effects and music and stuff. And that's one that I've heard in the background. You know what? Another one I hear. When you're watching the Bucks on TV, you'll hear. Dun, 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 dun. So you'll hear that. Any other ones you want to add? Oh man, the Bucks lost last night. And listen, first of all, it was bad enough to lose to the Ravens at home. But to lose two players, and we don't know the status. I mean, how long is Godwin going to be out, and how long is Mike Evans going to be out? I mean, two crushing injuries for the Bucks last night.
Godwin had a dislocated ankle.
Yeah.
He is done for the season.
Oh, my. So he is done for the season.
And potentially.
Because, with a dislocated shoulder, don't they just, snap it back in, and then, boom, you're, good to go?
They pop it back into place.
Yep, I'm fine. So you can't do that with a dislocated ankle?
He was headed toward one end zone, and the ankle was headed toward the other end zone. It was the most unnatural ankle injury.
I know.
And they refused to show it again. You either caught it the first time, and they didn't slow-mo replay it at all.
Yeah, I know.
And according to Coach Bowles, after the game last night, he said it's a dislocated ankle, and generally speaking, the normal recovery time for something like that would end his season. Now, the part that really sucks for Godwin fans is it might also end his time in Tampa because he's a free agent at the end of the year.
Wow.
So that could be could be a career in Tampa Bay, and he could be on another team next year.
That sucks. All right, 7:27 at the MJ Morning Show. MJ and Fester, did you see Jelly Roll announced that he's leaving X, formerly Twitter? I still call it Twitter. X. I mean,
yeah.
Listen, hey, Jelly Roll, you should have followed my lead. I left Twitter, X. Actually, I left X. I was still with Twitter, but then when it changed hands to Elon, erratic Elon, I don't want his cars. I don't want his social media. I tell you what, the rocket stuff is pretty cool, though.
Listen.
The SpaceX stuff, that works pretty well. All right, I'll give him that.
He's a He's something else.
Well, it's not him. I mean, he's hired like some of the best engineers and astrophysicists and rocket scientists, around.
Yeah, it's
but
him. Yeah.
I will give them some credit for that. But as
Did
far
you
as
see him catch that rocket right out of the sky,
I did. That
was pretty cool.
That was pretty remarkable. Props where props are due. But Twitter, that became X. X is a disaster. That is just a cesspool sewer. And even Jelly Roll, who committed armed robberies when he was 15. Jelly Roll is walking away from X. And this is kind of a big story yesterday that Jelly Roll called out X, formerly Twitter, for being a toxic, negative social media app. And then he said he was leaving the platform. Jelly Roll says it's toxic. Jelly Roll thinks there's no saving X. The 39-year-old announced on his former Twitter account that he would be leaving the social media platform after the toxic online sludge that he was experiencing.
All right.
He said, quote, "This is for sure the most toxic, negative app to ever exist, period." He wrote a couple of days. This is, what's today? Today's the 22nd. He wrote this on the 20th. "This place is different, man. I always heard it was the Wild West on here, but man, it's insane. It's a safe place for everyone to say mean bleep to each other with no consequences. I'm out. LOL."
That's so funny. I remember when Twitter first came out and we were talking about what you can and can't do on the various platforms. I remember somebody saying, "Yep, Twitter's the Wild West. Anything can go on Twitter."
But Twitter then, under the old regime, under the old Twitter, they did have, decent community standards that they did enact. And then when Elon took over X, first of all, the worst purchase in the world, what did he pay? Like $44 billion? So Elon Musk paid $44 billion for Twitter and changed it to X. And now, last I saw, it's worth like a fraction of that. It's worth like less than a quarter of that. The actual value. I thought I saw that Twitter was like valued, or X now is valued at like $8 or $9 billion, and you paid $44 billion.
It's just a toy for him. Yeah. That's all it is.
So Jelly Roll is out.
Oh, see you later, Jelly Roll.
But then I saw a story that then after he said he was done, that another tweet went up and it was promoting, I guess, a new album of his.
Really?
But that might have just been an automated. Yeah, automated, or some staff member that wasn't quite aware. Yeah, but he's off. He's out. And I walked away from X a long time ago. And I've been slowly just deleting my stuff. They make it very difficult. You can't you can cancel your account. And I'm on an email list. There's software that's coming out that's supposed to work. If you search for how to delete all your tweets and just kind of just blank out your old Twitter account, now X, there are a couple of companies out there that'll charge you and they say it'll remove all of your. That's a lie. It doesn't work. It does not work. It does not remove your. But there's a new company. There's new software that is in beta testing now, where they claim that they've actually figured out how to wipe out all of your previous tweets. But I'm done. I'm done with X.
I got to say, I love X. I love Twitter.
Of course you do.
It is just chaos and
that's great. Yeah, chaos and just
fighting videos.
Bad behavior, humans being mean. Yeah, that's right. You love it, don't you?
I do.
That's awful.
I watch it every day.
Hey, what's the filthiest thing in your kitchen?
Oh, man.
What is the absolute We've talked about this, I'm sure, over the years. The absolute filthiest thing in your kitchen. Don't use this. Why do you have this? The filthiest thing in your kitchen is what?
Are you looking for an appliance? Or are you looking for
I'm not telling you. I'm going to give you a hint. Just guess. The filthiest thing in your kitchen. This is a quiz.
I think it's the countertops.
Nope.
Oh.
Countertops can be dirty, especially if you got some salmonella-laced chicken that you've sloshed and slathered and slopped all over the place.
I always prep raw chicken straight on the countertop.
Oh, there you go.
Always.
And then you lick it.
Yep.
No, come on.
But
The filthiest thing. Hey, you know what?
All
I'm
right.
going to go to phones on this. It's going to be a quick guess. All right. What is the filthiest thing in your kitchen? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Andrew, screen quickly, and I would imagine that we're going to have a guess very, very fast here.
Okay, I think I know now.
All right, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. This is the filthiest, most disgusting thing in your kitchen. This is a bacteria bomb. It is horrific. All right, Andrew is going to be screening calls here. As soon as the delay clears.
See, it's
All right,
not like-
every line's ringing now.
It's not the toaster, because that just cremates stuff, even if you have crumbs.
All right, Carmen's up first, I see. All right, Andrew, just put Carmen on 2 on hold. Yeah, Carmen in Sarasota. All right, Carmen is the first one in and screened. Carmen, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. Carmen, what is the filthiest, most disgusting thing in your kitchen?
The sponge in your sink.
That is correct. Right there. Boom. Look, I told you it was going to be fast.
Carmen,
Yeah.
how did you know that so
Yeah.
quickly?
Every single line is ringing, and I knew we would have a guess like right off the bat. So, Carmen, what do you know about filthy, disgusting sponges in your kitchen sink?
You don't use them.
Yeah.
A sponge is like, it holds everything. It traps everything.
Yep.
So you're not going to be able to wash it, even if you throw it in the washer. A sponge just hangs on to every germ and bit of whatever you've got going on.
Your kitchen sponge could be the filthiest thing on planet Earth, actually.
They did a big study on that. I think it was on like 60 Minutes or something
Right.
a few years back.
Wait a minute,
Really?
60 Minutes did a story on kitchen sponges?
I think so.
I missed
yeah,
that.
I think so. It was big. Yeah, there might have been. I remember seeing a big study on what not to do, like don't wash your chicken, don't use a sponge.
Oh, I remember the chicken thing. And a lot of people still wash their chicken. They never wash your chicken. So when you get chicken from the warehouse clubs, you get chicken from the supermarket, people think, oh, I'm going to wash all that chicken, the
juice.
the salmonella slime. I'm going to wash it off. And what happened when you wash your chicken and you're not even aware, but like droplets and just mist, it'll fly around your kitchen. It'll spread the chicken bacteria. Just stick your chicken right in the oven. Yeah. I found it funny as well, Carmen.
Okay.
Yeah. So just start cooking your chicken. When you cook the chicken, it kills everything. So, Carmen, you're 100% right. Don't use a kitchen sponge. Even I read that people think that they can take their kitchen sponge and put it in the dishwasher for like an hour and a half.
I've done that. Yeah, you put it on a sanitized cycle.
No, you don't do that because the nooks and, as Carmen was saying, with the nooks and crannies, they hold everything, and the bacteria is so jammed up and wedged inside that even a dishwasher cycle can't clean all the bacteria and the horrors out of your kitchen sponge. It is horrific.
Yeah, it's gross.
What about
I think it's worse than getting poisoned by polonium-239 by Putin. Yeah.
it's pretty close. Would you rather have Fester's sponge or that stuff from Putin? What about my Scrub Daddy? That's not really a sponge. It's more like a.
Oh, that's also filthy as well.
That's gross.
Yeah. So Michelle likes the Scrub Daddy, but it's used very quickly and then like thrown away.
You use a Scrub Daddy one time?
Well, for heavy, like really nasty, like caked on, I'm famous for cooking something in a pan because I don't like nonstick. I don't like the chemicals in nonstick. So while we do have a few nonsticks, it's very rare. It's only a few times I use nonstick. I use cast iron, carbon steel, or stainless steel pans 100 to 1 over a Teflon coated non-stick because of the chemicals, and I just don't want that crap leaching into my food. So, hey, Carmen, thanks for checking in on disgusting, nasty sponges.
Thank you. You guys have a great rest of your day.
What are your thoughts on the Today sponge? I'm kidding, Carmen. Carmen, have a nice day.
Bye, Carmen.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Carmen.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of gross stuff, I don't even know if I want to say this.
What is it relating to?
7:38 at the MJ Morning Show. Aaron Rodgers. Do you know this story? Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback for the
New York Jets.
New York Jets.
Are you talking about the video of him on the sideline?
Oh, my God.
You know I have no issues with that.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know what society's...
All right, listen, if you do you're pretty much doing the same thing. I'm sorry to be gross, folks, but...
I don't know why society has labeled people so violently.
Whatever, the internal versus the external, I guess, is the issue here.
This is one of the biggest issues at my house.
All right, listen, Fester, I want you to back off this because you're going to gross people out. In fact, I don't even know if I don't even know if I want to do this story. Should I?
Everybody who knows me knows I'm a BEF.
You know what? Hold on. I'm going to I need to mull this over. I don't even know if, as I started to get into this item, I don't even know if I want to tell it. You know what? I'm going to decide over the next 15 minutes. Give me 15 minutes to decide. I'm taking this story.
I don't understand.
I'm taking the Aaron Rodgers sideline story. I'm going to table this right over here to my right.
It's not even fair that they have a camera on the guy the whole game.
All right.
Just to get this 3-second video.
All right, give me 15 minutes. What does that put us at? That puts us at 7:40, 7:53. All right, let me mark down the time here. Kind of like the time that the chicken went into the bin at the rotisserie chickens. They mark the time on those sometimes.
They do, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. All right, so I've just marked this 7:53. And by that point, I'll decide whether I'm going to do the Aaron Rodgers sideline story because it's gross. Hey, I want to get my brother on the phone on something because I saw a story about the newest, trendiest breast implants.
There's new ones?
That everybody wants these new breast implants. But they started putting these things in like 6 years ago. And you're saying, well, wait a minute, why is it the newest, trendiest breast implant if they started putting these things in 6 years ago? Because that was like the clinical trial.
Okay.
And there were only a certain number of doctors across the country that were able to get these implants. The Motiva breast implants. So this woman, her name is Dayanara Perez. So Dayanara Perez, 6 years ago, was one of the first to get these Motiva breast implants from a plastic surgeon. And she said, my boobs are so perky and natural looking. Perez is 30, a mom of one from Long Island, did an interview with the New York Post, and she was talking about her 34Ds. And she says the Motiva implants feel so good like real breasts. It was a $12,000 surgery, and it was done back in 2018 by a dual board certified plastic surgeon on Long Island named Dr. Mark Epstein, or he could be Epstein, I don't know.
He's changed it recently.
So Perez previously had the saline implants that were put in by a different surgeon 3 years earlier in 2015. And she had a rupture in the saline and then went to this other doctor and said, hey, I'm part of this trial to put in these Motivas. So the FDA officially approved Motiva on September 26th. So after 6 years of testing in the field, the FDA finally approved the Motiva breast implants, which are being described as like game changer implants, that they feel like they're real and that they look phenomenal, and they are spectacular. What is that line from Simon? They're real and they are spectacular. That was what's her face? Terry Hatch, right? Yeah,
Terry Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher, right? She was in Superman. Right.
So,
let me get my bro on the phone.
These are not real, but still spectacular.
No, yeah, exactly. That's what they're saying. What's my brother? 9-5.
Yeah, the Motiva Smooth Silk Round, and then here's the.
Oh, I got to dial a one. I'm sorry. Hang on, like my first time on the phones today.
Motiva has a very thorough website.
Yeah. So I want to know if my brother was part of, because my brother's a well-accomplished plastic surgeon who's gives lectures and.
I'm busy.
No, you're not. Hey, what are you doing right now?
I'm getting ready to operate on a face.
All right, getting ready to operate on a face?
Yes.
Hey, the reason why I'm calling you, and obviously if I'm calling at 7:42 in the morning, I'm at my job just like you're at your job. I'm operating on a morning show right now. All right,
I thought you were the only person in the world that worked hard.
Yeah,
That's
look
it.
at that.
He's the only one, Drew.
Hey, so
I mean, listen to your crew.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of us, we were just floating by.
Oh, yeah, everybody's just kicking back, casual.
That's it.
Pretty much does nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, I've heard all about it for years.
I mean, nothing, Drew. None of us do nothing.
I'm getting the business from my brother.
I mean, what are you
all
doing
guys
right
are
now?
Useless. Basically, barely don't even work.
What are you
Just like
doing?
me.
I mean, you're just sitting
I'm
here.
not working. I'm on the phone on the radio.
Yeah, you got time. You're not busy.
All right, Drew,
I
before
got all the time in the
all
world.
right, before you do your procedure, your surgical procedure, hey, I just shared with our listeners the story about the newest, trendiest breast implant that everyone's asking for. It's been installed in patients for the past 6 years, but the FDA finally approved it 6 years
like
later.
a tire shop installation,
Yeah, exactly.
like a mountain balance.
Exactly.
Those tire guys don't work
All
either.
right, so, Drew, do you know which?
No, they don't.
Do you know which implant
You're
I'm
talking about? The Motiva?
Yes, I am. The Motiva. All right. So my question for you, were you one of the physicians that was part of the 6-year trial?
Nope, I was not.
So how did physicians or plastic surgeons get selected to install these implants over 6 years?
Some company has relationships or thinks that they can sway someone to a different product from some of the major brands that they already use, et cetera.
Do you use Motiva implants?
Well, they've only just been released.
All right. So what are the big implants? I know there are two companies that have the lock on the implant. What are the two companies?
Mentor and Allergan.
Right. Allergan and Mentor. Those are the big breasts. So Motiva is a whole new animal.
Well, there's other ones. There's a company called Sientra who filed for bankruptcy, then got acquired. They're still alive. That's the third of the major 3 breast implant companies.
Right. No, the Motiva thing.
Called the Ideal Implant,
Right.
which is another company, and that's still around.
All right, but is the buzz real about these Motivas being incredible, game-changing, that everyone wants the Motivas, that the word of mouth is they're like so real, so natural? Have you seen these things? Have you felt them?
I have. If I had a new company, I would want to create that buzz too. Jury's out. We'll have to see, how they perform, but they've been put in patients in other areas of the world for many years. So, we'll start seeing some of that data more predominantly as it was released on the U.S. market.
What is your feeling, though, on this Motiva breast implant that they're allegedly raving about? And, yeah, I mean, you can't discount the marketing buzz. And are they creating
I think they'll probably perform similar to the other implants out there, and it'll really come down to price.
Gotcha. All right. So, do you anticipate putting in a Motiva or attempting?
Yeah, I'd probably try them. Usually I kind of watch for a little bit.
Has the Motiva rep been around trying to sell you the implant now that the FDA approved them on on September 26th?
Oh yeah.
Have they dropped off like a bunch of pens?
He's traditionally covered the west coast of Florida there, actually, and now he's a regional director. And his wife, they live in Sarasota, I think. So.
All right. So the Motiva. When was the last time the Motiva guy was in trying to get you hooked on the Motiva implants?
Yeah.
Oh, he started talking to me in the summertime or so.
Gotcha. Just anticipating the FDA approval, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, Dr. Schnitt, here's a new Motiva jacket.
All right, listen. Here's a Motiva, a koozie to put your beer in while you're operating.
A new Motiva country house.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Drew, do me a favor, folks. It's my brother Drew, board certified plastic surgeon. If you do put in Motivas, let us know, okay, so we can cover it live.
Could we just bring the radio crew into the OR so they can just do the whole case with me?
Absolutely.
That'd be fantastic.
Perfect.
All right, that's what we'll do. We'll make sure the patient's okay with that.
All right, have a nice surgery.
Thank you so much.
Local anesthetic, general, or just some propofol? What is this patient getting?
We usually use ether and a little beer.
Okay, all right. See you later,
Get
man.
outta here.
Goodbye.
Get out of here. Putting that out there.
Yeah, he knew the Motiva right away. So the Motiva rep is, I guess, already hitting my bro hard.
I mean, they knew it was going to be approved sometime in the early, fall.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's out there.
All right, so this new breast implant that has a lot of buzz.
And Drew brings up a good point. The first thing he said was, it's a new company. They're trying to drum up some publicity, and they're doing it.
The Motiva round gives the breast a circular shape, while the ergonomics assumes a teardrop shape when upright inside the the breast. The latter embodies, anyway, there's all kinds of, I guess they have different names, different styles.
They have two shapes. They have the round and the ergonomics.
Those are the two different ones?
Yeah, I'm on their website right now.
Both come with a smooth silk silicone outer shell that creates a sleek finish, creating a human-like feel. All right.
You think I could get the rep to send me a couple of samples just so I could use them in my cornhole game?
Instead of using the beanbags, use like 350cc breast implants. Is that it?
Maybe have to make the hole a little bigger. I don't know.
Oh, man. All right. So I teased this item for 7:45-ish. It's now 7:49, which is really good for me. Ooh. What do you think about this? A father left his 5-year-old son, a 5-year-old boy, back in coach while he flew in business class. Wait till you hear this.
5-year-old seems a little young. Actually,
I think so.
It seems a lot young.
Yeah, it is. I don't know how that's even legal, because you need like a parent or a guardian to assist the minor in the event of an emergency.
I don't know.
And what, you're pawning it off?
Kids fly alone all the time.
Hold it. You're pawning this off to others in the row. Remember, with unaccompanied minors, and yeah, there have been, there's a certain age where they allow you to fly, but with unaccompanied minors, I don't know if they still do this, but do you remember there were some airlines that would not put an unaccompanied minor next to a man?
Oh.
Yeah, and I always thought that was so just discriminatory. That what, you're assuming that if it's a guy, it's going to be a child molester, or, you know, a guy that's got to turn his porch lights off on Halloween?
As somebody who's identified as a man most of his life, I will tell you, I'm grateful for that, because I don't want to sit next to an unaccompanied minor. Please, don't stick me next to your kid.
I don't know if they still do that, but I remember there was some airlines that would not put, unaccompanied minors were always put next to women on airplanes. I don't know if that was like every airline or just certain airlines. I just remember that was a thing. All right, so here's the deal. A father leaves his 5-year-old boy back in coach. He then assumes the spacey, roomy business class seat for an international flight from Chicago to Beijing. What is that, freaking 15 hours? Seriously, what is that, 13 and 14? Hey, type in how long Chicago O'Hare to Beijing.
That's got to be one of the longest flights around.
Nah, Australia is a little longer. But, all right, so go ahead. Chicago to Beijing flight time. What, 14 hours, 14:30?
18 hours, 35 minutes.
Oh, my, 18 hours and 35 minutes? Holy, really?
That's a long flight.
Holy frig. I thought maybe 14, 15 hours.
No.
18 hours, 35. Oh, hold on. That's connecting flight. No. Hang on. Direct flight. No, let me grab this.
Hold on.
No, that's too long. Hang on a minute.
Go ahead.
How long is direct flight from Chicago to China? 14 hours and 30 minutes. I said 14, 15 hours.
Why doesn't Google say that? I type it in.
Because look underneath. 18 hours, 35 minutes plus. That's with connecting flight.
What, there's a layover in Alaska?
Wherever. I don't know. Maybe in the Marshall Islands. I don't know. The Solomon Islands.
All right. So that's still a ridiculously long flight to leave your kid.
All right, so listen to this. 5-year-old boy was sitting in the middle seat in United Economy Plus, and he was in the middle seat. The 5-year-old in the middle, and then you had other people obviously on either side, I would imagine. I don't know exactly where in the row he was, but this individual said that the 5-year-old wouldn't stop talking. The 5-year-old wouldn't let him sleep. So the gentleman, the man sitting next to the 5-year-old where the daddy dumped him, starts teaching the 5-year-old all kinds of dirty words and phrases during the flight. 14 hours and 30 minutes apparently worth.
That's quite the tutorial.
Oh, so he also taught the kid the Baby Shark song to annoy the living bleep out of the father.
You know what? Your daddy would really like this.
How's it go? Baby Shark.
Yeah.
Baby Shark.
Yeah, first of all, how does a 5-year-old not know Baby Shark already?
Well, anyway, if he did or didn't, just I guess completely ingrained that. Then taught the kid poop. And then bleepity bleep bleep. That's the S-bomb, S-bomb, S-bomb. So it's 3 S-bombs in a row with one ending in Y. Like you know what? I'm going to Smitty, Smit, Smit. But, it's the S-bomb. It's,
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Taught the kid ass and also taught the kid how to loudly belch.
Yeah.
Was ordering soft drinks and taught the 5-year-old how to loudly belch. Can you imagine?
That is a skill I, too, learned at a young age, and it has served me well my whole life.
So the guy with the 5-year-old dumped next to him while daddy's in business class on this United flight from Chicago to Beijing also taught the kid how to make armpit farts.
You know what? I could never do those.
Oh,
Froggy he's exceptionally good at armpit farts, and I could never crank him out.
Oh, this is hysterical.
I've always been very jealous of people who could do that.
Oh man, that is funny stuff. So yeah, I mean, who does that? Who dumps their kids? I mean, that young. I can imagine you're flying overseas and husband and wife. They're up in business class, and maybe you've got some teenage kids. You got them back in coach.
Yeah, where they're going to be entertained by themselves, not having to talk to the passenger next to them the whole flight.
You know what? Michelle has cost me money. I always wanted to put the kids back in coach. Not at 5 years old.
No.
That's ridiculous. But, 10, 12, 13, 14. Listen, I'll buy the business class seat or use mileage for the business class seat for Michelle or me, whether we're going to Japan, going to Italy, wherever. And Michelle always, I'm not putting my kids back. And Michelle, you know what? I'm gonna hit her up with this
and remind her of how she cost you money on a flight 10 years ago.
No, it's like every one. It's not just one.
All right.
It's every one. Michelle would never let me put the kids back in coach. Again, not at a stupid young age, but at a decent age. And I always had to buy business class seats for the kid. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, Michelle, you're going to want to wake up for this.
Oh, I'm awake. I just heard.
Oh, you bitch. Wow.
Oh, you just called my wife a bitch?
She's been costing you money hand over fist by not sticking the kids in coach.
I mean, we got into fights over this. It's like, I'm not sticking my kids back in coach. Why not?
What?
Because you know what? They're not second-class citizens.
I'll put them in steerage.
No.
MJ will put them with the dogs in the
He
crate.
would if he could.
I'll put them in a crate
He'd
in
put 'em in a crate.
in the cargo hold.
Yep, he would.
With that long hair that Julian has, you'd have to look twice anyway.
He doesn't have long
I know.
hair.
He used to.
He used to as a kid.
He used to have the longest hair.
Oh, remember the time, Michelle, you would not cut the kid's hair?
And not cut his
He
hair
looked-
so cute and curly.
He looked like Cousin It
No,
from
he
the
didn't.
Addams
It
Family.
was ridiculously
Yeah.
long. All right, Michelle, shame. Do you know the fortune you cost this man?
Yes.
By sticking-
Also, when we got to our destination, everybody was rested because they'd had the ability to sleep and, yeah.
Just costing me cash.
That's it. You're like a furnace.
Just spending my money.
Furnace that he's feeding cash into, and
Yeah,
it's burning.
Right. Mhm.
All right.
The nerve.
All right. Goodbye, Michelle.
All right, goodbye.
All right. Go back to sleep. All right. I thought it was funny. Father leaves kid back in coach, and the guy next to the kid is just teaching him all kinds of curse words and armpit farting and all
What do you do?
kinds
I mean,
of
when
stuff.
that plane lands, the kid's going to go back to his dad. You're never going to see that guy again.
Oh,
There's
man.
no repercussions on that.
I know. That's hysterical. That's one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. All right, so it's 7:57. I'm running a little late. 7:53 was my go or no go on the Aaron Rodgers story. What do you think?
I have no issues with it.
Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to go to phones after this on Proposition 3. Remember I said we would do it again in mid-October?
That's the weed one, right?
The weed one, yeah. So we've done this twice already, and I have the tallies of whether our listeners approve of Amendment 3, the legalization of recreational marijuana, or opposed to it. And from the first survey to the second, there was a dramatic shift. And I want to see what's going on now that we're, you know what, today's a good day because we're exactly 2 weeks away from the election. November 5th,
Oh, yeah,
exactly 2 weeks away. And then early voting, that opened yesterday.
It did?
Yeah, early voting started yesterday here in Florida. Absolutely. So I'll get to that in a second. Do you think I ought to just mention the Aaron Rodgers story?
I think it's something to cover and do a deep dive on, like he did.
Like digging for gold? All right, listen, I'm going to mention this. I'm not going to get into too much detail.
Why not?
But this is disgusting.
What?
NBC cameras caught Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback of the New York Jets, digging in his nose and then enjoying the hors d'oeuvre. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I know it's breakfast time for many.
Okay.
I apologize if I just nauseated you, but that is grotesque. I mean, you have a stadium filled with people. People are watching you, not to mention all a typical NFL game, has like 12 cameras probably out there?
Probably
Oh my
50 cameras. I don't know.
No. I'm talking about like the network cameras.
Okay,
the live cameras, not all the other,
MJ,
ancillary stuff.
Why the hatred toward Aaron for,
oh, man.
consuming his product?
Rodgers appeared to be on the sideline digging for gold in his nose and then taking the treasure to his mouth. That's what the New York Post wrote.
I mean, you don't want it on your hand.
Oh, my God. That is disgusting. I mean, oh, my God. What that...
He's going to play quarterback in a few seconds. You want to transfer it to the ball?
If you're going to do this, you don't do it in front of a stadium of like 35 or 40,000 people or whatever it was, and then with TV coverage as well.
I believe that picking your nose is often very involuntary action, where you're doing it and you're not even necessarily aware that you're doing it in that second. Give Aaron a break.
All right, I have the tallies. What time? 8 o'clock exactly. 8 o'clock exactly at the MJ Morning Show. I have tallies from June, is it 3rd? Yeah, June 3rd, and then again August 28th. We asked you, the MJ Morning Show audience, whether you will vote yes or no on Amendment 3. Amendment 3 is the legalization of recreational marijuana. Of course, we had medical marijuana legalized in Florida some time ago. And now the next amendment, this is for recreational marijuana. So my question, it's simple. I've watched the evolution because back on June 3rd, when we first did this, it was like totally tied. Yeses were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and noes were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it was exactly tied. So June 3rd, the number of yes on proposition or on Amendment 3, the yeses were totally tied with the noes. Then on August 28th, the yeses pulled ahead, and I have 12 to 4. 12 yes on legalized recreational pot to only 4 no. So in just over a month, there was a sea change. There was a dramatic shift. So here we are. We're 2 weeks before the election. This is now October the 22nd. I want to go back to phones right now. Fire up the phones. Are you yes or no on Amendment 3? Meaning, are you yes on legalized recreational marijuana, or are you a no? Let's go. Fire up the phones. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. That is how you get in. So very, very simply, call up and tell me yes or no. Andrew wants to know if I've read the full bill. I did a while ago. Is there anything particular that you're getting at, Andrew? Andrew?
How long? Now he's getting phones.
Oh, every line is ringing.
I mean, how long is the bill? I mean, on the ballot, it's not like, do you support legalized marijuana or yes or no? It's got this long, several paragraph verbiage, right?
All right, I'm going to withhold my thoughts until after I do the survey. All right? So I'm not going to give my thoughts, and I've got some opinions, and there are a couple of things which I think are important to know, but I'm going to withhold until we take phone calls. So here we go. Let me mark down today's date, October 22nd. Yes and no columns. Let me hold this up to MJTV.
Oh, it's very official. It's on a Post-it note.
It's on a yellow Post-it note.
Yes, you're quite the supervisor of elections over here.
MJ, supervisor of elections. All right, every line is going here. And as I go through these, just keep calling because I'm only going to be on the phone for a second with these people. And then it opens up a line. And then you get to call back. Am I boring you? You're yawning over here.
It was a good time to yawn. I mean, I wasn't in that sentence. So.
All right. So 800-990-1047. As soon as I get somebody's vote, I'm going to hang up, and that opens up a line. So if you're getting a busy signal now, just keep hitting redial, and hopefully you'll get in. 800-990-1047. Kevin in St. Pete, you're first up. Are you yes or no on Amendment 3, legalization of marijuana?
Yes.
All right. And why is that?
I do it already, so why not? I want it legal.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you, buddy. All right. Kurt is in Tampa. Kurt, are you yes or no on legalized marijuana?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. Kurt, why is that?
I don't need Ron DeSantis telling me what to do.
All right. Thanks for the call. Let me grab line 3. Is Jeff in Parrish? Jeff, yes or no?
Yes.
All right, off to a 3 in a row.
All
Say yes.
Men so far.
Yeah,
First 3 callers, all men.
Looks like first 4 are going to be men.
Okay.
Jay in Winter Haven, yes or no on legalized marijuana?
Yes, and I've never smoked pot.
All right, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. All right, here is our first female, Kay in St. Pete. Kay, MJ Morning Show, yes or no on legalized marijuana?
It's already practically legal already anyway. You can get, Delta 8 in the smoke shops and everything. So I say just go all the way with it. I'm a yes.
All right. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. That opens up a line, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. See, I'm going through these calls quickly. So the minute I hang up with somebody, try to get back in to fill the slot. And I'm going to try to match. Let's see. I think I took 16 calls. Each time I took about 16 calls. So I'll try to do about the same here. Let me grab Ed in Tampa. Hello, Ed. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. So far, all yes votes for the legalization of marijuana. Thank you. Darla in Eagle Lake next.
Yes.
Hey, Darla, yes or no?
I'm going to say no.
Darla, why do you say you're the first no vote right now? Why are you saying no?
I think because I have a 22-year-old son and, his girlfriend the same age, and I'm just thinking of them on the road driving and them partaking, and I don't know. It just makes it a little too easy.
All right. Thank you, Darla. Appreciate your call. Let me grab Natalie in Lakeland. Natalie, yes or no on the legalization of marijuana on November 5th?
No.
Why are you a no?
I'm a no because I moved from Colorado, the first state where they legalized marijuana, and that was the beginning of the demise of my home state.
And why? What did you notice when the first state to legalize recreational marijuana? And I have my thoughts about that because I was a Colorado property owner. I owned acreage out near Vail in Edwards for years, and I sold my land a couple of years ago. But I go out there, at least once a year doing some skiing. So what did you notice? What was the demise of your home state of Colorado when they legalized marijuana?
It overturned the housing market. A lot of people started to move to Colorado. The state couldn't handle the growth, and it really messed a lot of things up.
What about like drivers that were, under the influence?
I think that also was a problem, not as much as, the politics. I think mostly politics are a big problem now. The state is now blue, and a lot of drug use, homelessness, immigrants, a lot of stuff is happening in Colorado, and I think that the legalization was the beginning of the end.
All right, Natalie, thank you very much. All right, all lines are jammed. That opens up a line, 800-990-1047. Right now, the yeses are winning. I'll give you the final tally in just a bit. How about Chrissy in Zephyr Hills? Chrissy, yes or no on the legalization of marijuana?
I say no. I'm just sick of smelling it, and I'm sick of my grandkids smelling it.
All right. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Let me grab Wendy in Bradenton. Wendy, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Yes or no?
I say yes, and I've never smoked it in my life, but I'm tired of my family paying for the medical marijuana cards, which cost a lot of money.
How old are you, Wendy?
I'm 52.
Gotcha. Thank you. I just want to know, female,
Get
just
a little demographic
just
information.
curious of some demographics. Absolutely. How about Lori in Brant? Now we have all women. So we had all men up front. Now we have all women. That, by the way, opened up a line. 800-990-1047. We'll do another round of calls here. I'm just trying to match the number of calls that I took in the previous, and it was around 16 calls or so. Next is, looks like, is it Lori? Yeah, Lori in Brandon. Lori, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, good morning. I'm a no.
Why are you a no?
So I've been doing a little bit of research. I think people need to look, beyond the ads for a bill that's being sponsored, hundreds of thousands of dollars by a big pharma company in Canada. Like, just do your research. Like, what is it actually allowing?
Yeah, it's by the way, they're spending millions of dollars to promote the bill. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking, Lori?
I'm 52.
All right, another 52-year-old. Look at that. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so that was Lori in Brandon. Now we got Lori in Wesley Chapel. Hey, Lori, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Yes, I listen to you every day, and I'm a yes.
Oh my! Are you calling from a Cessna 172?
It sounds like you're in a little airplane.
It doesn't it?
What?
No, I'm in traffic on 54.
What? Say it again.
I'm in traffic on 54.
Oh, you're in traffic on 54.
Are you driving a semi-truck?
Sounds like you're getting buzzed by a crop duster.
That's hilarious.
All right, Lori.
It really sounds terrible.
Lori, what are you driving? What kind of car?
I'm driving a Honda Pilot.
Oh, okay. It's a nice vehicle. All right. So, Lori, are you yes or no on Amendment 3?
I'm definitely a yes. A strong yes.
Lori, how old are you?
I'm 54.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori.
All right. Look at that.
Wow.
I like they're all squeezing into that 25 to 54, which is a good thing. All right. Let me grab Michael in Tampa. Michael, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Yes or no on Amendment 3?
I'm an absolute no, and I'm from Colorado.
All right. Why are you a no for the legalization of recreational marijuana?
First of all, I get what people want to do on their side thing. It's probably no different than alcohol, but from Colorado, I agree with the other gal. It's completely ruined the housing market. Small businesses. I had a guy that used to take care of my boat in the summertime, in the fall, winterize it. He had to sell out. You can't afford warehouses. All the warehouses and places like that are being bought up so people can make grow houses out of them. It absolutely stinks like skunk all through certain parts of the city. You can tell where it's at. And there are campers and beat up old RVs on the sides of the road everywhere that people moved in, and the influx of people that came into the state to sit around and don't work. And they sit around and beg on every corner for money. I know they have that kind of everywhere, but it's incredibly horrible in Colorado. It's almost San Francisco-esque.
Wow. And then tell me why the housing market got nailed.
People moved out there, places to live. They'd come out in caravans, 3, 4, 5 people at different families living at a time in a house, in a place, ruins certain neighborhoods. It's the area I grew up in, completely trashed. It's just and I'm not trying to classify the same people that smoke pot or a lower class, but it brings in a lower class. And now there's an incredible bad heroin use out there. It leads to other things.
Yeah, so that's the gateway argument.
I mean, there is an argument about that. I get it, but the housing market is awful. You can a house that you could have bought, in the '90s for $100,000, they're worth $800,000-900,000, and it's a ghetto. It's unbelievable.
Wow. Hey, thank you, man. 2 Colorado calls. People formerly of Colorado saying that legalization of marijuana there just wrecked the state. All right, where am I on calls here? Every line is jammed.
We have a bunch more calls to go.
I know.
Man.
I mean, they're going to keep going here. Tessa in Lakewood Ranch. Hi, Tessa. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, I'm definitely a yes on this, and it's from a medical standpoint. I'm tired of paying for my medical card. I have serious RA and other debilitating issues, and it costs a lot of money.
How much is a medical card?
I honestly, I can't remember off the top of my head because all of a sudden I'm nervous. It's around like $200, and then you have to pay the doctor, but you have to go every 6 months, and then the renewal, the state renewal, I think is once a year, and then the doctor part is twice a year. So it really starts to rack up after a while.
Tessa, how old are you?
I am 38.
Gotcha. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. All right. Still, the yeses are winning right now. I'll give you the full tally in just a minute.
So according to Google, the annual fee for a medical marijuana card in Florida is $75.
75. All right. Let me grab Kathy in Newport Richey. Kathy, yes or no on medical marijuana?
Yes.
I'm sorry. On recreational marijuana.
Yes.
All right. That's now 10 votes for yes. Thank you, Kathy. How old are you, Kathy?
67.
All right. And do you smoke?
No, but my daughter does, and I'm tired of watching her getting it from her dealer who supposedly she trusts.
All right. Thank you. Maureen in Plant City, yes or no on recreational marijuana?
So originally I was a yes until I heard Judd Grady kind of explain.
Grady Judd.
Yeah,
Yep.
explain it a little bit in detail. I didn't fact check him, but he basically said that there's 3 growers that you can only purchase it from, which means they're making a ton of money.
Yeah, so that's one of the arguments. And, I'll address this. I don't know if it's 3, but the number of approved growers, it's going to be a small number, and they are going to, it's really legalizing, turning them into billionaires.
Monopolies,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And you can't grow it yourself, which people that are saying now they're tired of paying for their medical cards.
But also the companies that are vying for the ability to sell recreation, they're the ones spending all of the money for all the TV commercials.
Exactly.
Trying to get people to say yes on Amendment 3.
Exactly. And I think he also explained a little bit, it'd be great if you could have him actually on your show, explain it from a law enforcement point of view, some of the other challenges that they would have. So now, after hearing that, it's definite no for me.
Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Let me grab Woody. It doesn't say where Woody is. Maybe he's in that Toy Story movie or something. Hi, Woody, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning, MJ.
Woody.
I'm kind of undecided. I'm undecided on the whole 9 yards.
Right.
Because, let's take the face of alcohol. If you're going to make weed legal, you might as well make alcohol legal for people under the age 18.
Well, no, that doesn't make sense.
I mean, that's really weird.
First of all, alcohol's under the age, it's 21 and over. It's not under the age. But, that's so listen, Woody, you got to pick a side. I'm taking tallies here. It's not like I don't have an undecided column. It's yes or no.
I'll say yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Woody. Appreciate it. All right, let me grab Rhonda in Tampa. Rhonda, what do you think? Yes or no on Amendment 3, legalize recreational pot?
So I'm a registered nurse, and I say yes, not just statewide but federal-wide, because it's not legal for those in medical, law enforcement, areas because we can't partake, and I think it's better than alcohol because, of course, you're safer smoking than you are drinking alcohol.
Are you concerned as a nurse? Are you concerned with all the stone drivers that would be driving on the roads?
No, that's been going on for years, and there's more accidents driving with alcohol than there are from marijuana.
But in Colorado, the number of fatalities and car accidents markedly went up when they legalized recreational pot. That's out in Colorado.
Okay, well, let's do some statistics in Florida because there's been no statistics in Florida, right?
Well, it hasn't been legalized yet, but if it is legalized, and I don't know, if marijuana is legalized on the ballot with Amendment 3 on November 5th, and I don't know the answer to this, will car accidents and fatalities skyrocket in Florida as they did in Colorado because of all kinds of stone drivers? I don't know the answer to that. I just know what the stats say in Colorado. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Michael, Keystone, is that Keystone, Colorado?
Negative. No, I'm in Keystone, Florida.
Keystone,
is that Odessa area?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
When I think of Keystone, I think of Colorado. All right, so yes or no, Michael, on on recreational marijuana?
I'm a no. The same reason as Natalie and the other caller. I used to live in Colorado, and you know what went from being a nice, pleasant place to live turned into a place that had a lot of crime, and everything got real expensive, and it just went downhill. And that went the impairment, number of people driving. I just think it's a bad idea.
So 3 ex-Coloradans saying no, and all 3 have said that they feel it wrecked their state. Thank you. I appreciate the call. Michael, let me grab Kim in Plant City. Man, the phones just blow up when I ask this question. And again, 2 weeks before the election, this will be the 3rd survey we did. We did June, August, and now October. So, Kim, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Yes or no?
I would vote yes on it. As a cancer survivor, it helped me be able to go through my cancer and not. It was difficult to get it off the street. I mean, it would have been a lot easier to have medical cards, but they were too expensive with the medications I was on and having to pay for them.
How old are you, Kim?
I am 45.
And how long have you been cancer-free?
6 years.
Congratulations. Thank you for calling. All right, I got her in the yes column. Rick is in Brandon. Rick, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Recreational pot, yes or no?
Good morning. No, I say no.
Why?
Well, because like I said, the accidents are going to be worse. That's the way I feel. It's only going to make the government richer because that's all behind them. That's that's just a given. And then
the government is going to get tax money, but a lot of the benefits go to the few companies that are going to be able, the growers and the sellers. That it's going to be a kind of a tight group, going to make a fortune.
It's kind of like the casinos where the government makes a little bit of money, but most of the money goes to the tribe.
Yeah, had the Seminole Indians not get in on the marijuana thing. Anyway, hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate it, Rick.
Sure.
Bye bye. Let me grab Kimberly in Bradenton. Kimberly, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Yes or no?
No. We came from Washington State, and it's the same thing as all the Colorado callers. I'm just like, no, you're going to see people smoking weed on the road. It's really bad. Like, it changed everything. And if you have little kids, all my little kids knew what weed was because they'd go to the stores, and it would be in the parking lots of the grocery stores, and you'll see so many people will be smoking weed on the road.
Thanks for the call. Listen, people with states with recreational pot, I mean, they're all saying no. That's the 800-990-1047. That's the number. That just freed up a line. 800-990-1047. Benny in St. Pete, yes or no? Benny, are you there? Benny,
I'm here.
Yes, yes or no, Benny?
I'm here. I would say yes, and also I'm a medical marijuana user today, so I have my card all straight. Just for the record, for folks out there, if you think recreational is better, you're actually paying more. They're going to tax you more. So what's going to be funny, MJ, is that a large majority of users might want to go medical. And for the record, it's so easy to go medical. You don't need HIV. You don't need any insane disease to get it. It's quite simple. I think that's what DeSantis was trying to get across. But I'm originally from New York. I'm more scared about the kids. I say yes, but as long as they control it. If anyone's from New York, You see what they're doing in grocery stores, the way that it's being advertised. Currently today inside of dispensaries, there's no type of fancy logos or coloring. It comes in white bottles. As long as they keep it that way, it won't attract kids. But if everyone's thinking, hey, this is a better way to save money, yes, you're absolutely safe away from fentanyl, right? Like that's why I went this route, but you're going to be paying way more. The state is going to tax a lot of money on users that go wreck. But my answer is yes. Thanks for the time, MJ.
Thank you, Benny. Appreciate you checking in. Gina in Venice. Gina, MJ Morning Show.
Good morning. The answer is no, absolutely not. I'm an OBGYN. I will tell you that two things about it that concern, well, there's three things, but it is associated with schizophrenia. It also kills learning and memory cells to the tune of 10 IQ points, and you will never be able to get that IQ back.
Yeah, and I've read that. I've heard that for a while, that smoking marijuana regularly will knock your brain processing down. It lowers your IQ. It makes you dumber.
That is correct. Also, the half-life of marijuana is very long. It's about 12 hours. Alcohol is different. It's about 3 to 4 hours. The problem is if you smoke a joint and then you get in your car, you can't get in your car for a very long time. This is the problem. It's a very lipophilic drug, and it gets embedded in the brain cell because the brain is all fat. And so that's the problem with marijuana. I don't understand how they're going to legalize this and think that it's not going to be a bad thing.
And you're a physician, you're a medical doctor,
Yeah.
you're an OBGYN.
I am, and my husband was in the House, in the legislature years ago. He was a state rep, and it was when they were trying to put the marijuana on the ballot. They had many doctors from across the country come and give them, special presentations regarding marijuana and the effects of what would happen. And so I think I probably have a little more information than maybe other physicians about it. And I'm telling you, from what I've seen, absolutely not. Do not do it.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. All right. Hey, Andrew, I'm just going to finish up these calls because this will go. I could take phone calls until 12 noon.
Yeah, you could.
Or certainly till the end of the show.
Absolutely.
Bill is in Clearwater. Bill, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Yes or no on the recreational marijuana amendment?
Well, good morning, MJ. I'm going to say no, and the reason being is Bill Gates bought a lot of property up in Jasper, Florida, about 15 years ago because they knew that this was going to be trying to go through in the legislature and pass, and so it's just going to make the filthy rich get filthier.
All right.
And I disagree with the lady the last time. I've been smoking over 50 years. I've been working on cars. I could take cars apart, put them back together, and not have a darn bolt left over.
All right, so hold on. So, Bill, I heard you. So you're saying that you've been smoking pot for over 50 years?
Yes, sir.
How often do you smoke?
I every day. Every day.
Would you say you're addicted? Can you go a week without smoking?
Probably not, because then I'll start having super badass nightmares.
Okay.
I'm talking about waking up and actually freaking out. Because I don't know what the heck's happening. But yes, I function all day long. Like I say, I work on cars. I've worked on cars for a living. Yes, it does have its effects. I'm not saying I'm different than anyone else, but who wants the government to get richer and richer? Well, it's not really the government. Yes, it's going to be good because the police departments, fire departments, school buses, drivers, school teachers. But let's get down to the bottom line. Bill Gates and these True Leaf are these three companies that are going to be involved in selling. Because I'm friends with some of the people that have the Delta 8 shops.
Yeah.
And they told me, it's not what y'all think it is. I was like, so I started investigating, and I was like, he's right, because I was hunting up in Jasper when Bill Gates bought all kinds of farms, and then he started covering them up with big shelters.
All right, so listen, all right, Bill, I got you loud and clear. So you're an everyday pot smoker, and you say no.
I say no.
All right, thanks. And he smokes pot every single day. All right, Andrew, 3 more calls, and then I'll give the final tally, and I got to move on. Michelle is in Carrollwood. Michelle, yes or no on recreational marijuana?
I 100% implore everybody to educate themselves and read. They're not saying yes to recreational. They're saying yes to big pharma coming up, and then the little guys. Just the people who we don't have. Things aren't being laced with fentanyl, people. Marijuana, I have never, ever gotten a sack where it's been laced with fentanyl. And I think that is a scare tactic. And if you listen to all the commercials, these commercials are from these pharmaceutical companies that if people vote yes, then they're actually just saying, okay, sure, let's give this, let's let this be a monopoly. And I think that we need to educate it, and
All right.
I'm a no.
So you're a no. Got you down. Thanks for the call. Man, look, every line is ringing. I'm only going to finish up with Fiona and Jamie. Jamie in Lakeland. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, good morning. It's a no, N to the O, no, no, no. Did you hear me? I said no.
All right, you only get to vote once, though.
All right, Jamie.
Okay.
I only give you one little hash mark though. But I think you said no.
I did.
Okay,
for so many reasons.
Can you say? Can you? Wait a minute. Can you say that in Espanol, please?
No.
Yes, exactly. All right. Thank you.
Muy bien.
All right.
For so many reasons, MJ. I, like so many other callers, I also lived in Colorado when it became legal. Talk about a cesspool. It was terrible. It was everywhere. It was in the cars. It was on the side of the road. But the biggest reason, and I just urge parents to, unite in this, what are we teaching our kids? I mean, I have a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old. It's say no to drugs, right? Say no to drugs. I mean, we still need to teach these kids to say no to drugs. And it's a gateway drug. It's going to lead to other drugs. It's going to say, oh, you should try this, or you should lace it with this, or it's really cool like this. And also, show me, no offense to all the, pot smokers out there, burnouts, whatever, but show me a successful young person that has, that started smoking in high school, that got through college, that got their master's or went to law school. Show me a successful, driven, motivated person that started smoking marijuana at a young age. I mean, come on.
Jamie?
And the other thing is all the edibles. The edibles, that's a whole nother reason. I mean, you're going to have people coming into the state, getting into hotel rooms, eating their weight in cookies and gummies. Their mind is going to explode. It's just going to be terrible. Vote no. I mean, this is terrible.
Jamie, I think you said no. Jamie, thanks for the call.
Thank you.
All right. You're not going to believe the results here. One more call, and you're not going to believe the results. Fiona in Newport Richey, the final call, and this will be, I think, the 28th phone call that I've taken. So it's a lot of phones. 28 phone calls in, I think we started about half an hour ago. We actually spent a good chunk of time on this, and I couldn't tune out. I couldn't walk away from this. I'm just I'm riveted. So Fiona, last call, Newport Richey, yes or no?
Good morning, MJ. I'm going to say no, and I'm going to keep it short and sweet because everyone had a lot to say before me.
Fiona,
I just say no.
Thanks for the call. You're not going to believe this.
All right, so you've taken 28 calls.
28 calls.
Now, a little history on the amendment.
Have you kept track or?
No.
Okay, I'm
not the supervisor of MJ Morning Show elections.
Well, I've kept track, and I have the results right here, which I'll give out in a second. So
about this law, for it to pass, it needs
60%.
Just because you're the MJ Morning Show supervisor of elections, you can't just cut me off when I'm giving out vital information.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For it to pass, it needs a supermajority
of 60%,
which is 60%.
Thank you. What is it?
60%.
What I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I'm out. So anyway, MJ, for our, listen, I definitely want to know how it panned out between our listeners. I mean, we went from, was it a no? Then last time it was 50%.
All right, let me give you the results. Yep. All right, I'm going to give the results right now.
Okay.
So back in June, it was tied. Back in June, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was 8. 8 yeses and 8 nos, 16 phone calls.
So that doesn't pass.
That was dead tied, and it wouldn't pass, exactly. It was dead tied in June. Then we did this again. We took phone calls on August 28th, and the yeses blew the nos away. There I took, I took 10, 12. I took 16 calls again. So the yeses had 12 votes and the nos had 4. So yes was 12, nos were 4, and that was August 28th.
That would
now,
pass.
Yeah, here we are. Now we're at October 22nd, 2 weeks exactly before the election. And, of course, early voting began yesterday, and this is remarkable. The results are in, and I have them right here. Dead tied. Exact.
14 to 14?
14 to 14. 28 phone calls. 14 callers said yes on Amendment 3, recreational marijuana, and 14 said no to Amendment 3, recreational marijuana.
It feels like it started off so hot that the first 4 or 5 callers were all like, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it came out hot. Yeah, it came out hot. Is that amazing? That's incredible. So now we have, it was tied, then it was overwhelmingly yes, and now it's a toss-up. But again, you got to have 60%.
So I think there's more education in the last month.
Interesting.
The
commercials are just nonstop.
But then the people are also being motivated themselves to find out a little bit more whether they're for it or against it. Either way, I'm glad they're at least knowing what they're voting for.
Well, that's why I'm doing it here on the MJ Morning Show. I want to get a temperature. I want to get a barometer.
Where do you stand, supervisor of MJ Morning Show elections?
Yeah, I'm a no. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and not give my opinion. I'm a no for a lot of the reasons that you've heard. I'm concerned about, essentially stone driving. I know that accidents and fatalities went up. I do not want to smell it everywhere. And you go to Colorado, it's all on the ski slopes. It's all over the place. I got stoned riders, snowboarders that are, flying by you. They're all, obviously their judgment is, not 100%.
Yeah, their reaction time might be a little slow.
I don't want to smell it. I got snowboarders, riders that are, flying by me. I've had dangerous encounters, and I know they're stoned. I do believe it's a gateway, and I know the Colorado story. So, and then just a few companies are going to get just disgustingly rich. So that's where I stand. Festo, so where do you stand?
I don't know. I recently made a several $100 investment in some marijuana penny stocks. So, I mean, a couple of them can go from, 8 cents to 28 cents.
By the way, I'm looking out the window right now, and there's a St. Pete police officer just kind of parked on the side of our building. They use our parking lot a lot, the St. Pete police, for them to do reports and when they need to do a lot of computer work.
It's a great spot. It's centrally located, and it's kind of private, too.
Yeah. Hey, so St. Pete police officer, we're on a 20-second delay. So St. Pete police officer right outside my studio window, are you listening to the MJ Morning Show? All right, I got to wait 20 seconds because that's what the delay time is. Hey, St. Pete police officer, if you're listening,
turn on your turn on your lights.
Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you're listening to the show right now.
How creepy is that? The way you're sitting? We should offer seating, MJ, where you could sit out in our parking lot and look at the window that you're broadcasting behind.
Just waiting for the thumbs up. Hang on,
he might be waiting a while.
No. Thumbs up! I got it! He's listening to us right now! In the Ford Explorer police interceptor model. He's listening to the show right now, and I can see he's working on his computer. And he just gave me a thumbs up to the window.
That's awesome.
He's listening right outside. It's great.
Oh, man. Well, good.
Oh, man.
I wonder how he feels about Amendment 3.
Yeah. Let's walk outside. Let me smash the window and just throw a microphone out there. All right. Be improvement to the building. All right. 8:37 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM. All right. This is just ridiculous. And this is nothing new. We've talked about this in the past. but I saw just one that was totally obnoxious.
What's that?
The whole sugar daddy thing. You know, the sugar daddies that you've got these women that will just, suck them dry. And will, just take and take and take. So you've got these guys that I don't know what it is to have an attractive woman talk to them, or platonically in many cases just maybe have lunch with them. Or wait a minute, now we're in the digital generation of all this. You've got OnlyFans, and you have all of these like OnlyFans models or cam girls, cam models, and they'll be on OnlyFans. They build up a base. People are paying like a monthly subscription fee, and then you can give tips. And I saw this woman by the name of Maddie Price, and I don't know much about her.
Okay.
But she is on Instagram. I saw her on Instagram.
Maddie Price.
Yes, it came up in my feed. So for whatever reason, I was scrolling through some reels on Instagram, and she pops up.
Oh, because she targeted her videos to your demographic.
Who the heck knows? So this Maddie Price shows up. Turns out that she's an OnlyFans girl as well.
Yes,
She has a subscription deal apparently, and she is bragging. She shot a video of herself, and she's going to a car dealership to pick up her brand new Mercedes G-Wagon that apparently an OnlyFans subscriber, a fanboy, fan guy, bought her a brand new Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. Do you know how much this car is like? They can be $200,000.
Yeah, it's an expensive car.
All right, go to Google. Go to Google and type in price of Mercedes G-Wagon.
Okay.
Now, I know they have different models. You got the AMG version. There are different engines. They're different. But some of these, they're like knocking on $200,000.
Some of these souped up ones are $3-something.
All right, so Car and Driver. Let me just go to Car and Driver. Car and Driver 2025 Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, starting at $149,400.
That's the one with the roll down windows.
That's
the one with
no air conditioning.
That's the fabric seats.
Yeah. So it goes to it starts at $149,000.
I want to say like I've seen them for like
$200,000.
Yeah, almost like $500,000.
No, I've never seen them at $500,000. But
Okay.
I've seen them at $200,000. I know that there are G-Wagons that will hit $200,000 and go over. So this OnlyFans model was, and I got to play this audio. She's driving to pick up her new G-Wagon that was purchased by some pathetic guy that just wants to like have some kind of connection. So you'll talk to me or you'll call me or what? And I'm going to buy you a $200,000 G-Wagon?
There, you buy me a G-Wagon, I'll talk to you every week.
That's pathetic. Anyway, listen to this. You got to listen to this influencer, Maddie. And this is her actually going to get her G-Wagon because some sad sack pathetic guy bought this for her. Listen to this audio.
Come with me to get my brand new G-Wagon that one of my subscribers got for me. I had to drive a little over like 4 hours to get here, but it'll be worth it because the G-Wagon's super cute. Of course, I had to get coffee on the way. He told me it would only be fair if I had a Louis bag and ring to match with the G-Wagon, so he got me these last week. And now we're almost here, getting excited. Right when we got there, the dealership guy greeted me and said hello and said I have the G-Wagon ready for you. We walked around back and there she was. Oh my god, so pretty. I am in love with the color. The interior was super beautiful too, with a cream white and black. Since I'm only 5'3", it was kind of hard to get up into the car since it's so high off the ground, but it's so adorable. I love it. Now it was paperwork time where I had to put the car in my name and just tell all the details about the car. You know, typical car dealership type stuff. While they're finishing gathering up papers, I went to the bathroom to make some videos for my blue and white site. Then we did one little test run through the car to make sure it was all perfect, and the keys were mine. Here is my brand new G-Wagon. I am so excited. Shout out to the subscriber who got me this. You know who you are.
Oh, God.
Okay.
So an OnlyFans subscriber bought her, $150,000, $175,000, $200,000 Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon.
So she says on a social media platform.
Yeah, I believe it.
I mean, this could be a Verbo car, and she's just making videos in it.
Who are these pathetic guys that will give a cam girl really?
Oh, Those cam girls. I knew a guy.
I'm sorry, that's just pathetic.
I knew a guy once that had to have his wages sent to his mother because he spent all of his money on waitresses as a tip.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I don't know if that's true, but I heard that his checks went to mom to supervise the funds and disperse the funds.
So he didn't give all the money to like Hooters waitresses?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd heard that. Very nice guy.
Super nice guy.
I adore this guy. Very nice guy. We've known him for years, but I had heard the same thing.
Adore is a stretch for me. However, nice guy. And I mean, he would buy things. He would buy surgeries, or he'd buy down payments on cars, or if they were a little short with the rent payment, he would.
Oh, Hooters waitress, you want new breast implants? Or hey, here you go.
Yes.
I'll pay for you.
And he would, but I heard that was an issue. I mean, and he's probably like, if that's true,
listen, for some guys, that's like the only way they can have, I guess, some definition of a relationship with a hot babe, or
I guess.
Yeah. All right.
But I don't think like this guy who bought this vehicle is now going into bankruptcy court.
I just find that pathetic. The guys that are out there that'll just shower these women with gifts. Some kind of, and they don't care about these guys. These women are just vultures, just taking whatever they can and pretending to be interested. Only thing they're interested in is your wallet and her picking up her new G-Wagon.
We'll say this Maddie has some flat hair.
She had to spend some money at a salon.
How much?
Get a curling iron on that stuff.
Can one of the subs get her a curling iron?
I don't mind. I like that hairstyle. I like straight, flattish. I like all different hairstyles, and that doesn't bother me at all.
What if she had a crew cut?
Okay. Hey, are you aware of the new Pillsbury Grinch Christmas cookie?
I mean, every year they come out with like a sugar cookie with like an imprint in the middle, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Andrew, why are you laughing in the producer's booth?
I saw the images.
Have you seen these?
What is it?
Oh, my God.
I mean, they have them for Halloween. I've seen them for Valentine's Day. I think I've even seen like the 4th of July where there's like an American flag or a star in the cookie.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, we were kind of busy, with hurricane crap. But a couple of weeks ago, Pillsbury introduced their new Christmas Grinch-themed slice and bake cookie dough.
Okay.
And it was nonstop. Everyone's saying the same thing.
Oh
They're saying it's a tube of green poop. That's what everyone's saying.
Well, I mean, it's a sugar cookie tube, and you cut it in slices.
But everyone is saying, my God, it looks like green poop.
The outline of the Grinch's face looks like a poop emoji.
A pile of poop. It's like a green poop emoji, exactly.
There's 3 like hearts, because the Grinch turned out to be a nice character.
Yeah, listen, I never bought that. I don't know if it does it come in a tube or it comes in a box? I don't even know. I would imagine it comes in a box.
I think they come in like a sheet where you peel them off.
And then you bake. But everyone's saying it looks like green poop, or as Festa put it, like a green poop emoji. And I mean, how can you want to eat this thing? Oh yeah, let me eat this green Grinch poop emoji.
I mean,
wow.
Right now they have like, pumpkins and ghosts on sugar cookies. I guess the Grinch is now coming out. They're good cookies.
Right. So the new cookie features 3 red hearts, which are meant to be a nod to the character's famous line in the movie where they say that his heart grew 3 times that day. But it's what's alongside, it's the actual green blob Grinch that looks like a pile of poop.
I mean, if you bake these, you have to put some googly eyes on it or something.
Oh my God.
Because it's a turd.
It is. It's like if you just had broccoli for a week.
That's it. Straight broccoli.
Oh man.
I'll have the broccoli again.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not a good looking cookie. I'm sure it's delicious.
No, it's not. Oh, and what time is it? 8:47. I saw this reel, and I know that these do happen. I believe this to be real. And I had a number of... So this particular video must be making the rounds right now on social media, because I had numerous people ask me, hey, MJ, what was that dash cam you gave away? So listen to this. Peter Sampson MJ Morning Show listener, obviously a follower of mine on Instagram. I'm Certified MJ Radio. Give me a follow. Certified MJ Radio. So Peter says, hi, MJ. Sorry to bother you on this. Do you remember what car cams you guys gave away? My wife saw a video from New York where the people pulled in front of a car, slammed on the brakes, and then reversed into the car that they cut off, trying to scam them.
It's like a rear-end insurance fraud thing?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
So Peter sends me this thing. Hey, what was the dash cam you gave away? So last November, we gave away a whole bunch of dash cams in conjunction with the Kemp Law Group.
That's right.
Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. So we teamed up with Stacy Kemp and the Kemp Law Group, and we gave away like 40 of these dash cams. And these were front and rear. And he wants to know, after his wife saw the video, what was the dash cam? Because the story is that the person that was scammed had a dash cam and caught everything and caught the scam, caught them being set up. So what happened was you had a car driving down the road. You had another car come up next to them, pull in front of them in the left lane, jam on the brakes, forcing that person to slam on their brakes, and then the other car throws their vehicle in reverse and smashes into the car behind, faking a rear-end crash, trying to suggest that it was the car behind that rear-ended them. Then they all get out of the car. They're, seriously.
They're in terrible pain.
It looked like they were on some parkway in New York. I don't know, like the Cross Island or something, or the Grand. They were on some parkway in New York, and it looked like it might have been Long Island, and total racket. Then they slam into the car by putting it in reverse, trying to pretend that they were rear-ended, and they, like, 4 people in the car get out, and they're all like holding their necks and everything. Then the driver or one of them gets on a cell phone, obviously calling 911. But guess what?
It's all on camera.
It was the Belt Parkway. All right, so I was close. So it's the Belt Parkway, which I've been on many, many times. So look at that. Total scam, but they didn't count on the car that was scammed. They didn't count on the car that they put in their car into reverse and smashed into, trying to pretend like they rear-ended them. They didn't count on them having a dash cam. And the whole freaking thing was caught on dash cam and obviously exonerated the driver as part of a racket.
Those folks go to jail for something like that?
Oh, absolutely. You could. Listen, it depends on, what they're charged with, and obviously what a judge decides or a jury decides. So
what was the camera?
Yeah, the camera we gave away. So I direct messaged Peter Sampson back. It was the ThinkWare F200 with the front and rear. Because when we dealt with one of the dash cam companies, and they sold all kinds of models, and I said, hey, a great, cost-effective, really nice unit. Not that I don't want the cheapest thing. We don't need to have a $700 dash cam. So give me something, kind of nice. And it was the ThinkWare F200.
All right, so Walmart
with the front and rear.
Walmart has the ThinkWare F200 Pro for $246.
$240. So it's around $250. Yeah, we gave away a bunch of these things. So this video. Do I have the? Yeah, here's audio of that. So this is audio of the insurance scam, which you've got to hear this. This is audio from the dash cam where they tried to pull off the fraud. Listen.
Oh my God.
What happened, babe?
Oh my God, what is he doing?
Did you hear that?
Yep.
So the whole thing, let me play by play it like I'm Al Michaels in the booth. So here we go. They're driving along. The dash cam is running. Here we go.
Oh my God.
All right. So you hear, oh my God, the car swerves from the right lane to the left lane in front of the woman that you're hearing with the dash cam.
What happened, babe?
All right. So then they stop dead, and then you can hear her go, ah! Because now they're putting the car in reverse and slamming into her.
Oh my God, what is he doing? Babe!
Babe, what happened?
Oh no!
Babe.
I got into an accident. Oh my God.
Oh my God,
Where are
babe.
you?
I'm on the Bell Parkway. This guy just reversed into me. What the hell is going on?
Okay, so is...
Reversed into you?
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, fuck,
Oh
I'm shaking.
my God.
Is he on
Babe,
Bluetooth?
babe.
Yeah.
Just stay there. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Where on the Bell Parkway?
Oh, holy, after that turn?
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh my
Babe,
God.
it's okay.
Alright,
Just,
hold on.
just.
Hold on, okay? Hold on, babe.
What's happening, Al?
All right, so she's just like shaking. Apparently, she's on the phone with her husband.
Because he's on Bluetooth. I thought he was in the car first.
No, he's on the phone, so she must be a Bluetooth-connected phone call, and the whole thing is caught on dash cam, so she's completely exonerated, and these are fraudsters. They're scam artists. They're pond scum. They're scum of the earth. Lower than any form of disgusting, despicable life. Wow. So that's why people want dash cams. For a scam like that, and they were caught red-handed and busted. Wow. All right, 8:53 at the MJ Morning Show. This brings to an end over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop. MJ.
I can't believe how much I hate couples that call each other babe all the time. Hey, babe, what happened? Babe, I got into a crash.
What
Babe,
a
I'm in
story.
an accident.
I got a whole hour of MJ Morning Show next. So we get the final hour. We're loaded. We're packed. So we're back in minutes. Don't move. It just gets better from here. Let me tell you about the cake. fine. Just wash the damn thing off.
Look, in that moment, just get it out of the house. Get everything out.
But some of the one-story houses, every bit of furniture, I mean, every room, the kitchen, the dining room, the living room, all of the bedrooms, I mean, everything just out of the house and thrown at the curb. There's one house in my neighborhood, part of my walk, it's maybe a mile away from my house, and the contents of this it was a large one-story ranch right at grade and right across from Tampa Bay, literally right across, maybe 200 feet.
Yeah.
And they had probably 3-4 feet of water.
Awful.
And just everything, the whole length of their property. I think it's like an RS-75, like a 75 frontage. And from one end of their lot to the other on the front, just complete a pile like 6 feet high
of debris
and furniture. Exactly.
Oh, man.
And not even the contents of the construction, not even the drywall and the carpet yet, just the furniture. Consumed a pile from one front side of their lot to the other. And as I walked by yesterday, only half the pile was picked up. But also, once they pick up all the debris around town, you still have just remnants and trash and garbage and paper and just...
It's going to be months maybe before the little particles just get picked up. And you have to do that yourself.
We have some grassy areas in my neighborhood, and Michelle and I were talking about maybe we just need to get out there with rakes and just clean up this area. Because I don't know who's going to do it. Because the city is coming by with the dump trucks and the claws.
And they're picking up the big stuff.
Exactly. But there's so much little debris and junk that's being left. And it looks like I'm driving through a traffic circle in Nairobi, Kenya. I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of neighborhoods and people are going to have to team up and just clean out these areas where there's just the leftover debris.
The little pieces will be they'll be there forever. They'll be there for years, little pieces.
Unless you pick it up, unless you clean it up. So I'm going to have to organize like a neighborhood neighbor day where we just go through and clean up some of the common areas in the neighborhood. And listen, excuse me, the people that lost everything, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And, they just had to throw everything out. And they've been through enough, so we might have to step up and just help clean out the neighborhood. And that's just my neighborhood.
I mean, there's still people inland who are underwater because of rising lakes. The lakes can't get pumped because there's nowhere to pump them to.
I heard recently, Withlacoochee was, yesterday, was still rising.
In Seffner, there's Lake Shangri-La that has not receded yet because they can't pump the water out. There's no place to pump the water because those places are filled.
Yeah.
I picked my kid up from school yesterday. It was 100 yards of the road was just underwater. Still, the marshes on both sides were at capacity.
All right, so a couple of other ancillary things before I move on to other items. So, City of Tampa, what do you call it now?
COT.
City of Tampa, COT.
It saves so much time.
COT. So, did you come up with that?
I think so.
Yeah. So, Fester's now calling the City of Tampa COT.
I mean, listen.
Where do you live, COT?
COT. Chief Burkaw, he's the chief of the COT Police Department, right? Mayor Jane Castro, mayor of COT.
What happens if you want to take a nap?
If you're in the city of COT, you could take a nap on a cot in COT.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't see why people haven't been using this for decades.
All right. So the City of Tampa,
COT.
The City of Tampa is going to estimate utility bills. So with the water department, because a lot of the meters are covered with debris. So until
they can't get to it.
Can't get to the meters. You got a lot of the water meters are under debris. So apparently the City of Tampa says that the piles of debris is preventing proper meter reading for water meters in a lot of the city, and that they're going to just estimate.
Well, you're going to average out the last 6 months' usage and kind of bill them that if there's a credit at the end?
Well, why don't you put your little skivvies back on? I'll read you the statement from COT.
Tell me what the COT Water Department's doing.
So City of Tampa says, until conditions improve to allow for normal meter reading, customers will receive an estimated bill based on their average daily usage over the past 12 months. And then once things normalize, then they'll even out the bills. So that's what is going to happen, apparently.
I don't know if the water bill is my biggest expense ever.
Oh, and this is awful, man. I would like to hunt these people down myself, and run them over with this truck. Did you see that a company came in from, like, Kansas City with an expensive, like, dump truck to help with debris removal? And some sicko, some depraved lunatic monster stole their truck?
Oh, no. That's awful.
Yeah, latest I saw that the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office trying to find a debris removal truck, which was stolen, came in from Kansas City to help. The truck is worth about $325,000.
Look at this truck. This is a super nice truck.
Oh, it looks brand freaking new. It's a high-sided, like, debris truck, and it's got a claw arm built on the back, and it's towing a massive trailer, so it can put debris in the actual truck. Then it has a huge trailer behind. Is that the story you found on Fox?
Yes.
All right, go back. Go back to the beginning of the story. This is terrible. Listen to this. I didn't unmute it. Go ahead.
All the way from Kansas City to help with debris removal, only to have their truck stolen days later.
Jeez.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office is now investigating after they say the truck was stolen from a storage lot in Odessa. Fox 13's Jordan Bowen spoke to the owner, and Jordan, he's hoping that cameras may have caught these thieves.
Yeah, Brianna, deputies are currently working to get their hands on video from a nearby camera that was pointed in the direction of the lot. The truck's owner, Joe Messina, is hoping whatever is on that video will lead to getting his truck back.
The search is now on for this stolen debris removal truck. It's worth about $325,000.
I mean, is that unbelievable? I mean, this is a horror. This is a nightmare. You come in and listen.
Because we've never had that problem before. It's like a city block going down the road, you know?
It's a huge truck.
They're pretty good size.
Last week, Joe Messina and his company, National Debris Removal, came from Kansas City to do work for the next few months. Friday night, they parked the debris removal truck at this lot on Gun Highway in Odessa with the owner's permission. But when they came back Saturday morning, it was gone. That's when Messina called the sheriff's office, which is now investigating.
You've got to be heartless. I mean, these trucks are pretty important right now, and to park them in a gated lot and lose it overnight, the second day you've been here, I've never seen anything like it.
Deputies are...
That's awful. So they're looking at surveillance video from businesses nearby, and I think it was captured. I mean, I hope they can find... I haven't seen an update whether they this is a big... You got to be able to find this thing. It's a big freaking truck.
It's enormous unless it bolted out of the area in no time flat.
That's just awful.
This is as big as a garbage truck, but with a container on the back.
Tell you what, you catch the thieves of this, you pick them up by their eye sockets with that claw.
That's right.
And slam them in the back.
You put a bunch of tree limbs on top of them.
Exactly. And some boulders.
I don't know if boulders.
And some rusty nails. And acid.
It's really mean now. I mean, yeah, the people are wrong, but...
Terrible, terrible story. All right, speaking of terrible potential story, now the latest is 23andMe. You know the DNA deal? What do you have what? Ancestry.com. Then another one is the 23andMe.
Yeah, to learn your heritage, your lineage or something.
Yeah. Reportedly, they're facing bankruptcy now. And people are freaking out. What's going to happen to the DNA samples? You know, there's already, even before a potential bankruptcy, there was talk about like private equity or something moving in and then selling everybody's DNA. So if you gave this company your DNA, they can do whatever the hell they want with it.
They own it. They have it now. You sent it to them.
Wow. I know there's a way that you can, and you probably want to hurry and do this. I believe there's a way that you can go on 23andMe, go on their website, and you can delete all of your data.
Really?
Well, so they say, but that's the obvious question. Do they really delete all of your DNA data? Yeah, let me read a little bit of this from Study Finds. Since it was founded nearly 2 decades ago, 23andMe has grown into one of the largest biotechnology companies in the world. Millions of people have used its simple genetic testing service, which involves ordering a saliva test, spitting into a tube, and sending it back to the company for a detailed DNA analysis. But now the company's on the brink of bankruptcy. This has raised concerns about what will happen to the troves of genetic data it has in its possession. The company's chief executive, Ann Wojcicki, has said that she is committed to customer privacy and will maintain our current privacy policy. But what can customers at 23andMe themselves do to make sure their highly personal genetic data is protected? And should we be concerned about the other companies that could collect our DNA or do collect our DNA? Anyway, so there's just concern. I believe there's a way to go on and you can delete it.
I mean, there's no actual DNA. It's just a little spit in a vial.
No, that is DNA.
But are they saving the vials as spit, or
but they have your whole DNA profile.
Okay,
they don't need your. They're
not going to make clone festers or anything.
Listen, they don't need the vial of spit. I'm sure that's disposed of. But they have your whole genome, your sequence, and your DNA. They have all that.
So according to the Google,
they have all the data that came from your spit.
I typed in erase data from 23andMe, and there seems to be some pretty easy steps where you log into your account. I've never used 23andMe.
Go through the steps
all right,
here.
So you log into your account. You go to settings, scroll to 23andMe data, and select view. Enter your date of birth for security. Select permanently delete data, and confirm your request with an email 23andMe sends. Deleting your data is permanent and irreversible.
All right. But then
you'll immediately lose access to your account afterwards.
Right. So the question is, what data do they retain, if anything, or if it's all really deleted?
Does a private equity firm really want to know that there's a fat guy in the middle of Florida?
Yeah. Well, listen, 23andMe and Ancestry, I believe they've made a lot of money by selling genetic data to like pharmaceutical companies in the pursuit of developing new drugs. I mean, so there are some positive things here, but also there can be some very negative things here.
Yeah, a bunch of people sitting on death row right now wishing these two bankrupt companies went down a long time ago.
I don't think Ancestry is bankrupt.
No, but don't they find like criminals? Like your third cousin?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there have been murder cases that have been solved from, 30, 40 years ago where they
have a little bit of DNA.
They have some DNA, and then new technology. They test this old DNA, and then they run it against like some of the data, like a 23andMe and Ancestry. And yeah, there have been some cases where then they then find a relative that
they narrow the field.
Exactly, they narrow it down, and yeah, they've caught murderers, they've caught criminals by using old DNA and compared against these DNA companies. Yeah. That has happened.
That's like the best service this company's provided.
All right.
Catching old killers.
Yeah. I don't have an issue with that. All right. Now, Royal Caribbean. Were they on one of the dirty ship lists? Or were
they were. Like a turd of the sea was on your list yesterday.
The vomit of the seas. So we had a list yesterday, and it was a number of cruise companies. And, hey, Fester, can you hang on a sec? Can you talk for a second? I'm getting a call from my insurance company.
Okay.
Hang on.
So yesterday, MJ had a list of the top 10 dirtiest ships, and it ran the gamut from brands we've heard of like Carnival and Royal Caribbean to more smaller carriers. But it was a sanitation rating that each of these ships got. And I think like the Turd Burglar of the Sea was like number 4. But apparently after MJ gets off the phone with his insurance company, we'll find out what the heck he's talking about with this Royal Caribbean. So for those of you that don't know, last week at about this time, maybe 9 o'clock, I think it was on Friday's show, the insurance company calls MJ and tells him that his BMW is getting totaled. Of which MJ took the information moderately well, all things considered.
I'm back.
So apparently the insurance company's calling him back. Is there a follow-up to the car?
Well, I told him I'd call him back.
I saw you took the tag off of it, right? You went out to see the car, right?
Yeah, so I went out to clean. I had my sun pass underneath the mirror, so I had to grab my sun pass. I took the tag out. I took my insurance card. I took my registration out of the glove box.
So you're never going to see that car again?
Oh, it's done. It's gone. I think it's already been picked up by the salvage company. Oh, it's gone. 2024 BMW X5M was totaled.
Are they going to part it out?
Well, yeah. That's what they'll end up doing, I'm sure, is that they'll determine the good parts, and then they'll sell the parts to mitigate the loss. So I think it's a company called Copart.
Yeah.
So USAA, my insurance company, they're working with Copart. And I'm sure they do tons of insurance companies. And then
what about barely used auto parts? What about that? If I want to pick up your alternator.
Yeah, that twin turbo V8 might end up over there at barely used auto parts. Someone wants to stick it in a Buick Regal. I don't know.
I'd be flying.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the insurance company, and obviously they're gonna, give me the details on, what my coverage is, and I already got a letter saying that they've totaled my car, and I got an email, and again, folks, don't cry, don't shed one tear, don't give one flick. No,
this
zero.
Is a very minuscule issue in the course of life.
Don't give one flick of worry to me.
No question.
Because there are many more people on the scale of 1 to 10 as far as severity. I'm a 0. Okay. Yeah. I'm a 0. I don't even waste time thinking about me because I've had. Oh, MJ, I'm so sorry about your car. Hey, listen, thanks for your concern, but don't worry. I'm worried about many other people.
Yeah, appreciate
who had it far worse than me. So BMW sent me a message.
Yeah, they know you're a hot customer. Yeah. They know you're a warm lead for a new one. You bet they sent you a message.
Dear Todd, thank you for contacting BMW Financial Services. BMW Financial Services has been informed that the vehicle referenced above has been declared a total loss by your insurance company. Because this vehicle has been declared a total loss pursuant to your so I got like 4 pages.
Sounds like a lot of legalese. Yeah. Letter.
Because you are not responsible for payments that become due on or after the date of this communication, if your account is enrolled in Easy Pay, you will automatically be unenrolled. Oh, I got to go on there anyway. So I got to go onto my bank app, and I got to just because I have the auto lease with BMW Financial on auto pay. So I got to take that off. The insurance settlement amount must be received, and your account must be closed with a 0 balance. But they're also, hold on, it looks like they're giving me.
You get money back?
No, hold on a minute. Well, actually, they do have a lot of money in mine because I have a chunk of money down in a security deposit.
Sure, that's a prorated amount, right?
Where they give you put down a chunk of money with BMW Financial, and it lowers your lease payment. So they have like 10 grand of my money. So I guess I get that back because it lowered my payment like by $75 a month. And based on the old interest rate, it made sense. It was almost like a savings account with a lower lease payment. So hold on. So there's an LPC program. So in light of the circumstances, we would like to inform you of a loyalty payment credit.
There we go.
For which you may be eligible should you choose to lease or finance your next vehicle with BMW Financial Services.
Here's the pitch.
The LPC amount may be up to 100% of the amount remaining after subtracting your contractual lease payoff. What does that mean?
I don't know, but they want to get you in a dealership to sit you down and tell you all about it.
Yeah. All right.
So all that letter is trying to figure out how they can sell you another one.
No, that's fine. I guess I am buying another one.
I understand.
I've already, guess what, Festa? I've already ordered another one.
Why don't you call them and say you're a pretty easy mark? Save the email.
I got a changeable 112 status on Saturday, and I built the car I wanted, and it's scheduled for production November 18th.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, and it's built in South Carolina, so I don't have to wait for a boat from Germany. It's here. Once it rolls off the line, those South Carolina cars are down here in like 2 days.
That's awesome.
Or less. All right. So yeah, I'm dealing with my issue, but it's nothing. Don't even think about it. There are so many people. I got an email from a family that lost 5 cars.
Oh my God.
Whole family, 5 cars.
That's awful.
Yeah. And Veterans Ford, sponsor on the show, Veterans Ford, they have the A-Plan deal. So if you lost a vehicle due to the hurricanes, you can get employee pricing, which is only usually extended to Ford employees, like Ford Motor Company employees. And so if you go to Veterans Ford, and this is, listen, I've got a commercial. I'll just make this a commercial. So, Here on a Tuesday on Q105, 104.7 FM. So we were talking about the Royal Caribbean story that I was about to do, and we were talking about some of the we got sidetracked, though. Do you remember how we get sidetracked?
Yeah, the insurance company called.
Yeah.
All right. The insurance company called, and you said you'd call them back, but then we talked about cars for a little bit and all that good stuff.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so we had a story yesterday about like the filthiest cruise ships, and there was like a what was it? Who did the list? Was it?
I don't remember who did. It was a national boat. Like a health inspector, like the government.
Was it, it was the CDC. Yeah.
The government did. Yeah.
It was the CDC. That's right. I was trying to think of the agency. I was trying to think of the letters. It was the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention out of Atlanta. They put together like the 10 worst ships as far as health scores and cleanliness scores, and it was top 10, and there were some doozies on there. And I think there were some I think it was some Royal Caribbean. I think it was some Carnival on there. Anyway,
there was an MSC cruise on there.
There was. Then I see this last night regarding Royal Caribbean that a crew member filmed nearly 1,000 passengers in bathrooms using hidden cameras, and they hid under their beds. What? A Royal Caribbean international passenger has launched a class action lawsuit against the company and its former crew member after as many as 960 people may have been victims of a hidden camera in the bathroom on board their ship in their cabin. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of the Symphony of the Seas passenger Jane Doe and all other similarly situated passengers in the Southern District of Florida. This was filed last week. Its filing comes nearly a month after employee Arvin Joseph Mirasol of the Philippines pleaded guilty to producing child pornography and was sentenced to 30 years in federal prison. A guest on board discovered a hidden camera affixed to the counter under the sink in their bathroom back on February 25th and reported it to ship security. Mirasol, a stateroom attendant, was detained until the cruise ship docked over in Fort Lauderdale at Port Everglades.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, that's a mess. Wow.
So did he have to go to the little jail that's on these cruise ships?
No, this was well after that. He wasn't held in the ship jail.
Okay.
Little ship brig. No.
What a dirtbag.
Law enforcement found numerous videos of children between the ages of 2 and 17 in various states' address on his electronic devices.
Sure, it's the bathroom. Absolutely.
Oh, my God. Upon information and belief, Mirasol transmitted and uploaded images, blah, blah, blah. Allegedly also hid under passengers' beds to spy on them and filmed them while they showered. Whoa, that's creepy. According to the suit, there were a total of 26 sexual assaults and reported during the cruises in 2023. Anyway, that seems to be ancillary.
Under the bed would be the wrong way to go. I mean, you could get stuck in there a long time.
This guy's doing it really.
I mean,
this guy's doing 30 freaking years. Wow.
What a creep.
Let that be a little note to self. Yeah, according to the complaint, the cruise line did not inform other passengers in rooms serviced by Mirasol between December of 2023 and February 26th of this year. Up to 960 passengers could have been filmed, according to the lawsuit, because I guess they figured out how many cabins he was responsible as a stateroom attendant.
Yeah, sure. Now, MJ, does he serve his time in Florida?
Oh, yeah. Well, no.
I mean,
no. So he was, apparently, this was all in the Southern District, so it looks like he was convicted. So he was convicted here in Florida.
Well, he serves his time in the United States?
Well, yeah. So, yes. So,
okay.
Because the ship's port of call was Port Everglades. So he was arrested. He's going to spend 30 years in federal prison. So he'll end up in some federal lockup, whether it's a medium security or whatever, somewhere in the country.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily going to be put into a federal facility here in.
The reason
Florida.
I ask is the ship has, ship's registry, Bahamas or Panama.
They'll stick them on Con Air and send them wherever they want to send them.
All right.
By the way, I see Con Air landing at the Tampa International every once in a while. Yeah, Con Air is the U.S. Marshals plane that moves
transport people,
transports federal prisoners around the country. And it's like a couple times a month, I'm looking at the app and I see that it's like on approach, it's landing. I don't know how often that Con Air is in town, but it's they've got a couple of 737s that serve as Con Air.
I'll be sure to tell this Filipino room steward about the airline arrangements.
What a creepatola, huh? All right, speaking about creepy, this woman is shopping at Home Goods. You ever shop at Home Goods?
It's a good store.
Yeah.
They have no clothing, but it's all, crap for your home.
Yeah, like knickknacks and...
They have furniture and pictures and rugs and crap. End tables. Couches.
Yeah. All right, so Home Goods. This lady goes in and shops. And some guy just starts following her everywhere. Man, this is creepy stuff. So she started a whole conversation. She puts up a social media video. And she said, oh, my God, I had this nerve-wracking deal happen at Home Goods. And listen, this is not Home Goods' fault. Because I was in Home Goods like once. Can't remember. I had to get something. And I can't remember what it was. But it was out on Long Island. I had Chloe out at some soccer practice, and I left for like an hour to do some shopping, and I had to get something at Home Goods. I think Michelle said, yeah, try Home Goods.
It's a great place to go to get like fake pumpkins for the fall season. You want to decorate the outside
You know what?
of the house.
I needed some fake ferns to put on top of my toilet bowl. No, I don't know.
They have them.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. No, they have a lot of junk in there. All right, so this Ashlyn McKay puts out a social media video and just kind of telling women, hey, trust your instincts. If you feel like someone's creeping on you, if you feel like something doesn't feel right, trust your instincts. So she says, I'm running errands today. I go into Home Goods, just kind of stroll around, and I hear somebody say, hi, how are you? And I look up, and there's no one around me except a guy. He's wearing dark sunglasses and has AirPods in. Initially, McKay thought that he was just on the phone and didn't give it much thought. However, she continued to browse through the store and noticed him repeatedly appearing in the same aisles. It was something enough that I was like, okay, all right, I'm in the candles. He's in the candles. Just made a little note in my brain. But then things took a turn when she moved to the back of the store to check out rugs, and the guy approached her again, at this time a little more directly, and says, how are you? And I look up, and there he is.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You can't follow her to the rug aisle.
Yeah. And when he repeated himself louder this time, she gave a closed-lipped smile and walked away, said, I don't want to engage with this behavior. So it escalated even more as the man followed her closely, asking, did I scare you? In a weird, excited tone.
Yeah, he's happy. He's giving her a little scare.
Feeling increasingly uncomfortable, she turned to leave the store. But even then, the man wouldn't back off. Instead, started cursing at her. Was like throwing vulgarities at her.
Is there a police report? Did they call the law?
So it was at the point where workers at Home Goods had to step in and help. And they said, sir, we need you to leave. Even after the man was asked to leave, the woman says that she was still on edge, so she asked the store employee to watch her as she walked to her car to make sure she made it out safely. The whole time I got in my car and I drove away to a totally different store, I'm like looking behind me in the mirror to see if the guy's following. You don't want this creep to follow you home.
No, absolutely not.
If he's following you in the mugs and the jugs and the ferns and the rugs and the whatever, the bath mats, the towels, the little knickknacks.
Tchotchkes?
That's what I'm looking
there
for.
You go, tchotchkes.
He'll follow you home.
That's a fun word.
My God. That's terrible. So just a little heads up. If some guy's creeping on you, just get help and make sure he doesn't follow you home. Well, that's some creepy stuff right there. Hey, speaking of creepy, saw a new photo of Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend. That's creepy.
Creepy for who?
Come on, man.
Oh, Bill. I saw him last night on the Manning cast on Monday Night Football, and I'm just thinking, there's like a 24-year-old person just waiting for him to come home. Oh. He's like, what, 100? Is he 100?
No, he's like 68 or something.
Okay.
72.
All right.
72. So, wow. A corn maze was created in his honor. So he visited the corn maze with his 24-year-old girlfriend. Yeah, he's 72.
Yeah, kids love corn mazes.
Yeah, they were up in New England. Yeah, she's 24. She's not 7, but it might as well be 7. Well, she's legal. But I just thought it was creepy. So a Bill, what kind of corn maze do you make in Bill Belichick's honor?
I don't know. I have to see the aerial footage of it. But okay, so he's 30. He's 70.
72, and she's 24.
So he was 48 when she was born.
Jeez,
is that right?
Sounds about right.
I think so. Wow, 48. Oh my God.
What else?
He's like 40 years older than her dad.
Yeah, some news here on the Liam Payne death from One Direction. What a sad story. Apparently, they found pink cocaine in his room.
What's that? I mean, it's cocaine, but I've never heard of pink cocaine.
Yeah, it's pink cocaine. Yeah.
What, did he spill like some Country Time lemonade on it or something?
But despite the name, pink cocaine does not necessarily have cocaine in it. The National Capital Poison Center describes the drug as a powdered cocktail of drugs, typically including ecstasy, ketamine, caffeine, and a psychedelic drug known as 2CB. Sounds like it's worse than cocaine, to be quite honest.
I'll just take plain cocaine, thank you. I don't need the pink stuff. Here's a picture of it. It looks like they mix in one product that's really pink, and it gives everything this nice little pink lemonade hue.
Yeah, pink. It looks pink. It looks like pink cotton candy is what it looks like. So, partial autopsy conducted, found multiple substances in his system when he fell to his death, and among them were cocaine. So they did find cocaine in his system. Also, benzodiazepine or whatever it is.
This guy had everything in his system.
They also found crack.
Okay.
And a drug known as pink cocaine, and that's what I just gave you the details on. Wow.
Liam, he's doing all the drugs.
Yeah. So, listen, there were many reports that he was depressed and that he was acting oddly. His behavior was weird. He was in the lobby before he jumped off or fell off the balcony, and he was like smashing stuff in the lobby. I think he smashed his laptop. I think he smashed a TV in the hotel room as well. And then we had yesterday that there were like 2 hookers in the room that left, and they were questioned.
Some Argentinian prostitutes were with him.
Yeah.
Shortly before he jumped or fell or whatever.
I'm a big fan of Argentinian meat.
I mean,
not the prostitutes. I'm talking about because Argentinian beef is very good. Seriously. Have you ever been to an Argentinian steakhouse?
You know what? I've been to a Brazilian steakhouse. I've been to a Colombian restaurant.
Argentina is known for, they have extremely good beef quality.
I've had several bowls of chili.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I've been to an Argentinian place.
We got to pack things in here, man. What a packed show. All right, 9:46 at the MJ Morning Show, and we got to roll. Hey, if you want to get a hold of me, I'm MJ at mjmorningshow.com. That's my email. So if you want to drop me an email, it's my private personal email. Any content, any hot tips, any gossip you have, anything we need to know, want to enlighten me on something, just want to say hello, MJ at mjmorningshow.com. My Instagram is Certified MJ Radio. A lot of videos on there you might not have seen. So give me a follow on Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. Let's see if I can get 35 new followers right now. Certified MJ Radio, Instagram, give me a follow. With that, have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. MJ Morning Show, Q105, 104.7 FM, and let's be careful out there.
The Q105 app is your connection to all the big contests, powered by Anna.